Hi everyone, it's FC.Liverpool, all about Liverpool. It's all your comments, it's everybody's. We're our guests since tonight, and I've got some cracking guests. Frankie's Boys says Daryl Merry, Ian McKay, evening goal, we go again, absolutely. I want all these comments. I'm going to bring in now Lee Carson. Hiya, Lee.
Hi, Frank.
I thought you were drowning in that there.
I know, yeah. I've got a sore throat. I think it's from them bloody vapes that I was bitching about the other day. I've got a sore throat, and like when I'm coughing, but it's nothing. It's nothing, like, you know what I mean. It'll teach me never to touch a vape again or buy ciggies from that newsagents by the train station, because I reckon they were fake, and that didn't help either. But there you go. Life's a trial.
Yes, it is. Can you see me any better now?
Yeah. You see well.
Thank God for that. My picture's a little bit slow. Jason tried to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Bringing Daryl in now. Sex bomb.
Evening, boys.
Hi, Daryl, mate.
Some jokes.
You look like the milk tray man from them 1980s advert. Was always diving off a boat or something, like, or off a cliff top or something.
There's one of my family members here, George Owens. Hey, Frank. Hey, George. Hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. Good lad is George. Good lad. And his brother Thomas. I've got this bloody pain in me. I can't text anyone. My arm kills me. You know, my right arm. If it's text, I forget what you call it. You know, it goes in the, down your forearm here. It's horrible. It really is horrible. But anyway. So what you think, lads? Oh yeah, there's Anfield Road. Good evening, fellas. Look at all those pints and scotches. Hey, look at all those. It's all be drunk. Go and drink the game. So listen, lads, all the bloody rumours. There's Mbappe's name getting mentioned again. What the hell is this all about? I'm so fed up with Mbappe's name. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not being funny, but why even mention him? Why do you even bother him? You ever think that's like
you get divvies who, they just see Mbappe's name and he's leaving FSG. But you're getting others podcasters saying, oh, that's good, that sounds good, that, doesn't it? Let's go and get him, and he'll come to Liverpool. You just believe this. Go on.
Everyone knew he was leaving. Why has it been broken again today? Pathetic.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Daryl. It's just absolutely nuts. It really is. It really is. And Anfield also, get them down, yeah. Them points. Even in Frankie, Daryl and Lee, and 3 points there from Tony LFC.
Right, so thanks, mate. Yours is coming up next.
And Anfield also says information is gathering that Mbappe is getting 175 million signing on fee. Ridiculous. 100 175 million.
I mean, purely from a financial view, it's just an impossibility. So, like, people keep saying it in chat boxes, oh, Mbappe, and I'm like, yes, granted, it'd be fabulous, but if you ever think that's likely in this lifetime, then you're an idiot, and a complete idiot at that. You really think he's going to come here and we're going to give him like 200 million quid signing on fee? Yeah, his wages are free, mate. He can come here. Yeah, but what about the 200 million quid signing on fee? Doesn't matter. His wages are free. And you're like, yeah, but, like, what about that? And they're like, yeah, but his wages are free. Yeah, but he isn't free.
Exactly. 175 million.
Please,
175. So Liverpool would have to pay 175 million just for him to sign a dotted line. Not only that, but also the wages that he demand. And people are going on about it. And what they're saying is shirt sales. What I just don't understand it. I don't understand, and people believe it. And John, who's the midnight talker, evening chaps and chatters. That's nice. And he replies back, Anfield Raw. And as the Anfield Raw say, spot on, Lee, we haggled with Szoboszlai's wages, and spot on, we did. We haggle with everyone's wages. We haggle about transfer fees as well. It's just sick of it. And there's my lovely Jean Gray, Mark 2. She's Mark 1 for us, isn't she? Hey, Jean. Good evening, Frank, Lee, Darryl, and chat. Hope you're all well. 100%. Big heart for Frank. And there's two little chinkers there at the end. That's for me and Jean when we meet up and we get engaged. So listen, lads. No, let's get away from. Let's be serious about this. Honestly, let's be serious. What about now, Xabi Alonso? And I'll tell you something in a moment about it. What do you reckon?
Go ahead, Darryl.
I just think the rumours aren't very good. Obviously, what are going around being heard at the moment, that Xavi's opting to stay in Germany for another season, which I kind of get. He's had one season there. You don't really see managers going after one season. He wants to try and build that team there. And to be fair, I got nothing against him doing that. It's just when Real Madrid come calling the following year, he's going to be gone there, isn't he? So it's going to happen, and we're going to end up with De Zerbi. You can see it.
Why is that? I haven't heard it. To be honest, I haven't been near the football in an up-to-date sense for days. I've only been watching LFC TV, but I've just been watching Mo Salah's greatest goals or some compilation. But I haven't been near current football in days. I've just been avoiding it, like the streams and that, and doing other things. And why is that the latest thing? Is it that we've heard that Alonso might be staying possibly next year?
Well, here's how I put it. I'm going to tell you something now, okay? But here's my opinion on it, right from the start. I'm just made up with it. I'm collecting all the kisses for you, Frank. Yeah, see? No hearts, no kisses for you lot. But if any of the lads like Anfield Raw, or Bonkers, LFC, or any of them, John, Midnight Soca, if they want to send kisses, you can have them all, okay? But Jean has them for me. Right. Evans, you can whop at this fella. There they are, Curly, Larry, and Mo. Uh,
I was thinking last of the summer wine. I'm Compo.
Yeah, Compo, yeah. The old Danny hat on there.
well, John the Midnight Talker says gossips get the clicks on sites like The Echo. Was a time The Echo was at the front of the queue with all things pool, but not anymore. No, because it's gone to Greater Manchester to be printed. I stopped. As soon as that went there to Oldham, I said, that's it now. And I haven't read The Echo ever since. Never read The Echo ever since. And that's wrong. It's just, I don't want to swear. But anyway, I got my hair cut. Yesterday off my barber comes to me and he cuts the footballer's hair, by the way. And he said, and this is what I mean about people going on about Alonso. Now, before I tell you, let's put it in perspective. If Alonso can't come out and say, I'm going to Liverpool in the middle of his season, whereas they're running away with the league, they're in everything as well. He can't come out and say that because not only will it, I think the team know, but I think it's upset the team and the fan base. It'll cause murder. Because if Klopp said now, honestly, if Klopp came out and said, I'm leaving and I'm going to Barcelona, what would you say, Darryl, if he said that I'm going to Barcelona? If instead of saying I'm retiring, I'm leaving at the end of the season, but he said instead I'm going to Barcelona, what would you have said?
I'll be angry for a start, very angry. I wouldn't like that one bit, to be honest. If he went back on his plane and went somewhere else.
Okay, what would you say, Lee? I know what I'd say. What would you say?
But if he can't come this summer, then I don't see it.
No, Lee. I'm talking about Klopp. If Klopp came out and instead of saying I'm leaving at the end of the season, but said this, I'm leaving and I'm going to Barcelona, what would you have said?
Right. Oh yeah, sorry, it drifted away there. Yeah, my concentration then. Barcelona, I can't see him coming out anytime within the next 8 months and saying,
No, Lee, you're misinterpreting me or misunderstanding me. I'm saying, what if he came out? When he came out in January last month and said, I'm leaving at the end of the season.
Right.
But what if he said this instead? It's not hard to comprehend. What if he said this instead? I'm leaving at the end of the season. I'm going to Barcelona. What would your thoughts have been then? What would you have thought?
I wouldn't have been. You're joking, aren't you? I wouldn't have been happy. I'd have had a right cob on. If he just said, I'm leaving for Barcelona in January, I would have had a right cob on.
Okay. Well, here's what I would have said. I thought the Perry's would have said it. Well, all right, mate. Go now. We'll just carry on. Yeah. That's what I would have said. And take your backroom staff with you.
Especially Linda's, because he won't shut up talking balls on the Echo and on this. Oh man, the guys are bored anyway. I can't wait for them to go Linda's.
Why is there a lot of fans calling for Linda's to be manager? I don't get that.
I don't even want. What?
I don't get that. Why is there some fans saying they want Linda's? Why? He's boring.
I think our engagement.
Oh, green grass.
I think our engagements broke off. Jean and I, the engagement's off. She's just dumped me. You know you're my guy, Anfield.
I think she's two-timing the Frank.
Anyway, Ian McHale says, used to love going to shop with a Pink Echo after Saturday games back in the day. Yeah, we all did. Because that was our internet, wasn't it, really?
No, not ours.
The pictures.
Yeah. Rick George's Wales of Sport.
Yeah, brilliant.
No, Wales of Soccer, not Wales of Sport. Rick George's Wales of Soccer in the Pink Echo I liked, and a couple of other bits. Well, I liked it all, apart from the Everton bit, which I didn't read.
Oh, yeah, look at this. This is brilliant, this. I'm going to this game. So France, she's coming down tomorrow. She's going to sort all the tickets out and that. Instead of Mbappe, says Anfield Road, I'd like to congratulate our club offering a dying man's last wish, Mr. Eriksson, a last dream opportunity to manage our great club. And I'd also say them rats on Sky never mentioned. But they wouldn't. What would they want to mention that for? Anfield?
Aren't they the worst, Sky? Aren't they the worst of the worst of the worst? I can't wait to get rid of it for my contract to end so I can get rid of Sky. I'll keep the Wi-Fi, but the telly's gone, mate. I don't want it no more.
I'm pissed off with it, to be honest.
I've got BT anyway, so TNT Sports is way better.
Where is JK? Yeah. JK, I'm sorry, mate. I've never seen you.
JK!
How you doing, bro? How you doing, Daryl? Lee?
Yo, bro.
How you guys cool?
JK.
Yes. Nice
Give
to
me
see you
some
guys
love.
smiling.
Oh, and you, JK. And you, mate. It really is. The Invisible Man. That's great. JK, the Invisible Man. Frank for me. What kind of a man? Hey, what kind of a man? Anyway, yeah, Anfield Road. He says, Red Bears, I'm sorry. Anfield Road, you're trying to use your cheeky charm on our Gene. Yeah, I say everyone's looked at us talking to each other. No comments like about what I said. But anyway, let's see if anything's come up. Oh, look at that. Look, Anfield Road's made up now with Gene. Look at that, the canoodler. I'm going to stop all this. I want the moderator to stop it all.
Love Island there. Football edition.
It looks like my hat. I was just looking at my hat, and it's like got a condom on my head.
Well, Daz Reynolds says, all right, Frank, mate. J.K. Kismet will be bringing some guests with him, says Daz. Hiya, Daz. I'd love you to come on at once point, you know.
Yeah, it
Daz.
does. Yeah, good luck, does.
Really, I would. I really would. And Gene says, this is a crack at this. Everyone needs to concentrate on the games ahead of them. All of this, it will mess with challenges ahead. Let the big boys do their job. Spot on. Absolutely. And Anthony Brown, my oppo. One of the. Do you know Anthony Brown?
Yeah.
International artist, right? Great fella.
No, evening.
With him today. Evening, lads, and everyone. Have a great show. Just be careful with the kisses after all that, baby.
Is that Anthony on your Monday's show?
Yes, he came with me today. I gave a talk.
Oh, yeah.
Over in Port Sunlight, and it was shocking. It was full house for Frank. It wasn't about football.
Is Port Sunlight like Ellesmere Port, the same place?
Yeah, on the way.
Yeah, because my granddad worked in Ellesmere Port. I mean, he died in 1984, But he worked in Ellsworth. He used to get the train every morning to Ellesmere Park from Waterloo train station, my granddad, at about like at 10 to 6 in the morning or some jazz it was.
Yeah,
He was like a wage clerk or something, my granddad. You know, he used to count up people's hours because he was good at maths and all that. Like, count up their hours on their clock card and tell the bosses what to pay them.
Okay. Did he say Brian's on? I wonder if this Brian Fennell.
Brian.
Evening, Brian.
How's it going?
Hi, Brian.
All right.
This is Brian
Hey, Brian. You're okay?
Yeah, can all hear me good?
Oh, yeah. Tipping in our ears. You're the loudest. You're behind me here. You're that loud. No, it's
got to wake you up.
That's cool, honestly. Anyway, lads, I said to the boys, I said to Lee and Darryl, what if Klopp had turned around and said, I'm leaving for Barcelona instead, I'm leaving at the end of the season? What would your thoughts have been? It's only because I said something before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the question?
Yeah, I just feel it's like I don't really want to know who our new manager is until the end of the season. So I think sometimes it's all about timing with certain things. Personally, I think Klopp will want a year holiday. I just got a funny feeling about that. He wants to have a break and stuff. So the newspapers are going to always drop, Klopp's on his way to Southampton or or I don't know, Werder Bremen or somewhere. Yeah. So for me, I just take it as paper talk, bro. And personally, as I said, I don't want to know who our new manager is until the end of the season.
See, the point is about it all is, I said before, Xabi Alonso can't come out and say, I'm leaving at the end of the season, I'm going to Liverpool. Their fan base would explode. It really would explode. Like us now, top of the league and whatever. Top of the league in every major cup. Every major cup. We could do it a quadruple, you never know. Again, we're the only team to do it in 2 years, if you know what I mean. Or try to do it. Point is, if he would have said, I'm going to Barcelona, I think most of the fans would have turned like me and said, well, hey, mate, yeah, go now. We don't want you here. Go on. Piss off. But Xabi Alonso can't come out and say that. But I will tell you this, it's nailed on. That's all I'll say. Yeah. It's nailed on, he's coming here.
What I will say about Xabi is if he wasn't... sorry, where was I going with that? I had that one there and that one's drifted off. What I will say about... what was it? Sorry, it's gone that one. What I was going to say about Xabi is if he doesn't come, he'll never be coming. If he doesn't come and we hire another manager, Xabi will not be our manager, I don't think, ever. If he doesn't come this summer and he signs a new buyer contract and then goes somewhere. Sorry, what I'm saying is if we don't get him and then we bring someone in on a 4-year contract, Xabi Alonso will never be our manager. I don't think.
No, you're right. You're so right. You're so right. Simply because, would you go along with that, Brian?
Yeah, first off, Frank, thanks for the invite, man. Really appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
Nice one to take out. Yeah, I've seen some of your stuff, man. I really enjoy it. Again, for your first question, how would I feel if Klopp turned around and said, do you know what? Sorry about the whole I need some time off thing. I'm off. Hey, look, I'm off to sunny Barcelona. I'd be massively. I don't know if the right word is disappointed, but I like, I know why he's going, and I don't want a manager here that looks at the kind of the plan for the year ahead and go, do you know what, boys, I ain't got the feels for that. I don't, nah, I'm not here anymore. If you're checked out mentally, you're checked out. I think he does need time off.
Yeah.
But if it was to be turned, I don't think he's the kind of manager that has a little. It's a horrible what if question, Frank. You know, he's like, what if he did that? You're like, wow, what a prick, you know. You'd have to say what a prick. You'd have to say it. Like, Barcelona, it's simple paper talk. 2 + 2 = Klopp's off to Barcelona, and yeah, it would be massively disappointing. But I wouldn't look. Can we bear in mind that the guy was absolutely shattered after Dortmund, and he said, I'm done with this. I need a year off. I need a sabbatical. He got about 3 months into that, and Brendan Rodgers did Brendan Rodgers things. We knocked on his door. We broke his sabbatical. He knew then he needed time off, and now he's just done probably the second, third most high pressure job in world football for what, 8, 9 years. Too right, the man needs a break probably, but he's a football man at the end of the day. He thinks I need a year off. Guess what happens? 3 months in, he's bored to tears. He's like, I've had 2 months off. I need to get back to work. Guess what?
Yeah.
Barcelona are on the phone. You can't blame the lad then. I trust what his motives are. The Xabi Alonso thing, I'm with you. I think it's nailed on. I think I would like it to have been a year later, and he comes, and Jurgen leaves in 25, and Xavi comes in 25. But if it needs to go a year, already done. If he did go somewhere else for 4 months, he's going to know Bayern are going to come out and try and destabilize Leverkusen. That's what they did to Dortmund. They'd buy their best player. They'd be in a title race with Dortmund. They'd buy their best player and announce it in February like total dickhead, and just piss everyone at Dortmund off and take the wind out of their sails. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try and leak some, Alonso's coming back to Munich kind of stuff. But I'd be with Frank. I think it looks to me pretty solid. And yeah, if he did go off somewhere else 4, 5, 6 years, who knows what happens in football? But yeah, I think get him now. Get him now.
Brian, it is nailed on. Believe me, it's nailed on. I know this for a fact.
I'm happy to hear.
Thing about Xabi is, if he doesn't come in the summer and someone comes in and we appoint the right person who isn't Xabi, when is Xabi going to come in? If we give someone a 4-year contract and he does well and saves the 4-year contract, when's Xabi going to come here? Is it 6 years? Is it 8 years? Is it 10 years?
I get it. I hear you. Yeah, because you can imagine him doing the Real Madrid, Liverpool, Bayern World Tour. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Because if he skips us, and then he goes to Madrid, does 4 years there, then he goes to Bayern, 6, 7 years there. 100%. That's why I'm always like, get him now.
See, this is his opportunity, you see. And he's grabbed it. Believe you me, he's grabbed it. Because all he wanted to do was, listen, like when he was playing for Real and when he was playing for Bayern, he used to come to Anfield. Well, especially the midweek games. And during their winter break, he used to come to Anfield to watch games. Anyway, someone asked him, one of the lads like us, asked him, all right, Xabi, what are you doing here? And all he turned around and said was, I'm a Liverpool supporter. I support Liverpool. That's what he said. It's as simple as that. So if you have the opportunity to manage a team that you support, and people want you, the likes of the fan base, the whole of the fan base, well, 99% of them want Xabi in. It's as simple as that. So therefore, where else can he go? Where else? And if, hypothetically, if he wasn't coming here and decided to stay a season, that opportunity's lost. If he decides to stay a season at Leverkusen, another season, to bring them through to the Champions League, he's lost his opportunity. But any other clubs will pick him up anyway. So I don't think that'll worry him. But this is nailed on, believe you me. It's nailed on. I was told this yesterday, 24 hours ago. I was told.
See, at the end of the day, he's going to do whatever's best for Xabi Alonso's managerial career. But I believe the way it looks currently, ours would be the best choice because he'd get to cut his teeth here before he moved on to either of the other two. Going straight into one of them other two jobs is a bit different, is it not, for Xabi Alonso going straight into the Madrid job this summer or going straight into the Barcelona job? Whatever job, Bayern Munich, sorry. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's too hard to switch, isn't it? To go straight from Leverkusen to Bayern. It's too hard. Like, right. Give him the fans a bit of respect and just say, I'll put a bit of distance and maybe come, just to go jump ship straight from Leverkusen to Bayern, even though he is ex-Bayern, that is a bit of a kick in the teeth for the Leverkusen. I can't see doing that.
No, you're spot on there, Brian. It's a very good comment because he wouldn't go there. It's like Klopp going to Manchester United from here.
Yeah. After he won the league, straight after he wins the league, and he's going to the biggest rival. No.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. And Gene Gray. Well, before I get on to what Gene says, I don't know whether it was Redbird or the Anfield Roar who said that Trent is going to miss the final.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. And then Sobbo.
I'll go to Darryl. What do you think of that, Darryl?
To be honest with you, a little bit gutted, but now we know, obviously, we know we've got Bradley there. I'm not so worried, so we'll be right.
No, it's not a matter of that. Look what Trent's done, for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And the point is, it's a shame, he's going to miss the final. He could miss the final. Don't you think it's a bit rather than we've got Bradley there?
Yeah, I do think it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for him and obviously the club. But if push comes to shove, I'd rather have him in the Europa League final, rather have him in the FA Cup final and the league games running. So I'd rather have him for them games.
What about you, Mark? What would Brian? I'm sorry. What would you say, Brian, about that? Trent missing the final.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'd be happy to hear a different update, but from what I heard, it was like, no, boom, that's done. He ain't playing. I mean, he's not playing the next two. We know he's not playing Brentford. He's not playing Luton.
Yeah.
So I thought this was kind of so. If there is even a glimmer of hope, but why is he out? He's out because he came back too early from an injury. Let's just get this right. Don't mess around like like Tottenham used to do with Harry Kane. I mean, the guy come in on crutches. He'd walk into White Hart Lane on crutches, and he's starting the fucking game. Don't start getting Trent injured again and again and again, because Klopp even said it. Maybe we brought him back too early. So that's on the medical staff, because as far as I know, at this level, you can't pick a player until he gets the all clear from the medical staff. Like, the player can say, "Oh, I feel fine." If you get the sheet from the medical staff saying Trent's injured, he's not available for selection, doesn't matter what he says. So apparently he's back. Now he's out again. Same with Thiago. Thiago's inevitable. Don't bother going. But we don't need the same scenario. Just get Trent right. If it means he misses the cup final, well, that's fine by me, because the guy that I saw come in and play right back against Norwich, Fulham, Arsenal, absolutely phenomenal young player. Fine, great. I don't mind seeing Conor Bradley at right back for the next 4 or 5 games if he gets to play the cup final. Fine, but just bring Trent back.
No, Brian, we all agree with that. But it's the injury that could keep him out of a final. And don't forget that Trent is one of the greatest passers of a ball in the whole of Europe, to be honest, not just in the Premiership. His passing is absolutely supreme. He's brilliant. But, it would be a shame if he did miss the final, because he's
100%. Yeah, no, 100%. But if the worst thing comes to it, like I was saying, I've already had him in my head. I thought he was out. So I'd kind of come to terms with the fact that we weren't going to be playing with him. But again, look, I want him back in the team, but I don't want him risked to the point where we bring him back,
Oh,
and
no.
then
No.
guess what? He's out again for the rest of the season or something stupid, because we're always better with him and Mo. Always better with him and Mo. So getting back in the swing of it.
Well, this is, we need Mo back in. We need Slabozlai back in. And they're all coming back except Weetabix legs, Thiago. But Jean Gray says the whole of the backroom staff needs to go. Too many reoccurring injuries for the last 3 seasons. Physio, docs, everyone. We can't continue like this. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you agree? Does everybody agree with that? What she's saying there, Jean?
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
It has to be a clean sweep. And hang on, yeah. Sorry, Mr. B. Hope you're okay. Doing okay. Thank you, Paul. I'm okay. The Bear. I'll be shocked if Ruben Amorim of Sporting Lisbon is not the next Liverpool manager. Now there's a thing.
That's who I want. That's who I want if we don't get Xavi.
Yeah. And agree with you, Lee. You can't turn down Liverpool or you won't get a second chance. And you don't get a second chance. I know that for a fact.
I think Xavi knows that.
Well, as Redbird says, Gene, the whole lot are going along with Klopp, so we should have a lot less injuries next season. And so say all of us. And but Bear says Ruben Amorim is coming with his backroom staff. Okay. And TW, do you have inside information on Alonso coming, Frank? Because if we get disappointment wrong, it could set us back years. I don't trust FSG. Yeah, I did yesterday. It's nailed on. The lad said to me, it's nailed on. He's coming. And that's it. But that's just between us. And I hope no Germans are looking at no Bayer Leverkusen supporters are looking. Is JK back with us? No, he's not back with us. Because he says he has to leave.
Look, here's the thing. Right now, we're top of the league. We're in 4 competitions. And it looks to me like the papers are just going into overdrive, trying to think of stuff to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no substance in anything I've heard that, Xabi isn't coming because his nan got it on the head by a Seville orange that fell out the tree or something, like, you know what I mean? It's talking a load of old crap.
I said this months ago. I said the press are trying to derail us. Sky Sports and all their pundits are trying to derail us. The referees, the whole shebang, they're trying to put Liverpool off. I said this months ago.
Yeah, it's our football media in a nutshell, really. Like, when anything looks good for us, they can't wait to come out and dump on us, can they? Like,
well, the fans look at it's not just the media, you know. It's also the owners, because Bear says Bellingham was nailed on to join Liverpool, and then what happened? Nothing is nailed on with FSG, and you could take that. And you could take it. You could say, well, yeah, do we trust the owners? Because it's even now with the rumours saying, oh, look what we've got. We've got a big war chest of 200 million and all this nonsense. Every year, remember Klopp has a war chest. At the end of every season, a war chest is coming in the summer.
Frank, in the footballing vocabulary of our national media, there are 2 words that I know less than war chest. Insert name here's, insert number here's, war chest. And half the time it's a load of balls, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? You read it and it goes, such and such as 350 million war chest. And then it turns out they've got like 100 million or something like it. It's them in a nutshell, isn't it? Like our papers.
Yeah.
As if any club would come out and tell everyone how much they have to spend that summer. Like, it's just stupid.
I completely agree with that.
No, come on, Brian. You're being silly there. I thought Abramovich used to come out every summer and say, like...
Frank,
well, yeah.
Frank?
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I agree with that.
I didn't understand what you said there, Darryl. What you
agree with Bear's,
okay.
I completely agree with Bear's comment. I don't think Alonso's coming.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. You're not coming on again.
You're banished.
You're
Go and get your water.
You're banned. You're banned, Darryl. No,
I'm muted. I'm muted.
Go and get your imaginary war chest.
Yeah, look, Redbird says no one at Liverpool Football Club say they wanted Jude. It was the fan base that created the hype. And he's spot on. It's spot on. X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, everything. Even I wasn't doing podcasts then. And there was this fella, I'm not mentioning his name, podcaster, an Irish lad. And he was saying he's coming here. And for 18 months he was saying it. And I put on a little comment. And I said, he won't come to Liverpool, lad. I don't know where you're getting this information from. And he went like that. But I'll be, at me? I'm going to go at me. And when I replied to him, after he went to Madrid, I said, do you remember there what you were saying about Bellingham? And he went, yeah. And he told me to, 2 expletives, put it that way.
When you've lost an argument, resort to calling people names, isn't it?
Yes.
I get it all the time, mate. And I'm not saying I win. I just don't get into arguments online. I don't bother. I'm not the type of person. It's only when they walk in and literally assault me that I actually get involved. So, it's one of them, isn't it?
Well, all right. I'll tell you what. Let's see what Bear says here. I'll go to you, Brian. Ruben Amorim is more likely to be Liverpool manager because he is a carbon copy of Klopp. What would you say to that, Brian?
Well, the one thing I would say is, Bear, like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can't argue with your logic. It's solid enough logic, but you've got that to me is 2 + 2. What is for everything that makes him a good fit, there's about 1,000 other things that make Alonso a good fit. Now, we spoke about this the other night. It's not like back in the day. It's not like, say, 15 years ago, right? Where if you just needed a guy for 2 years, you could get a elite Mourinho, an elite Ancelotti, an elite Rafa. The older overcoat type managers that have been there, done it all. Every manager out there right now that's good is basically a punt or a gamble. Amorim, Alonso, you're all looking at potentially the next, unless you go out there like Unai Emery might be the closest thing to someone like that, the classic overcoat manager. He won't mess your club up. He'll come in for 2 seasons, and then you get your Alonso or whoever. But everyone out there, De Zerbi, Amorim, these guys have done nothing at the very highest level. So the Amorim thing, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh well. Yeah, so Frank, I watch Portuguese football every week, and I know this and I know that. I don't watch Portuguese football. I know this guy exists because I read the papers and I read the internet. And I see the odd bit of Champions League football. So I can't sit here and go, no, he's wrong, he's right. I just know that, like, JK will tell you this, like, I don't go in for the whole fanboy thing or all that, but if you say to me, who's your favourite Liverpool player? Xabi Alonso is my favourite Liverpool player. I just love the guy. I think he's one of the best. He's just class. He's pure class. So if he can come in and do the pure class Xabi Alonso thing that he did as a footballer and come in and do it as a manager, let him do that. Because for all the Amorim stuff, what's he got connected to Liverpool apart from the fact that I'm not having a go at is the Bear. Sorry, he plays like Klopp. That's a bit weak,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's a bit
Exactly. Well, it's a good point by Red Birds. I don't want a Klopp carbon copy. I want a Klopp to stay, but now he's leaving. It's time for something new, in my opinion. I think that's
Yeah.
a very. And I think Bear. I think he's missed what we, like misinterpreted what we've said about Trent. Trent missing the final is not major. Liverpool have Conor Bradley and Gomez as cover. Relax, guys. Thing is, Bear, I understand what you're saying, and yes, we have Connor and we have Joe. That's no problem. But it's a lad who's playing for Liverpool. He wears Liverpool, the birds on his sleeve. He's a Scouser through and through. And to miss a final is heartbreaking. That's what we're saying.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
We're not
Yeah.
saying anything different.
Yeah. I missed that point. Sorry. I also missed that point myself. Sorry.
No, please don't apologise. It's just that it's like anything else. You can misinterpret things and get it. I'm not saying get it wrong, but if you misinterpret a question, I'm a lecturer, or I was a lecturer, retired now. I can't even do the garden because I haven't got a garden, so I just sit. But my point is,
You can come into our garden, Frank.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, I've got some weeds that need doing as well if you're free at the weekend,
Yeah.
No, your muscles are quite safe, Frank. There's a fella who comes every, I don't know, once a month or something and cuts the bloody grass.
Frank Titchmarsh.
Frank Titchmarsh.
New channel. Garden with Frank.
And that bed. There, I'm not saying it's a big deal. I just feel sorry for Trent missing the final. It's only what we've said.
Yeah.
So it's obviously, Bear, we're made up that you're here. We're made up with your comments, by the way. And that's just what I mean about all the comments. We discuss them. We discuss every comment. And would you agree? I'm going straight to you, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Bear says Liverpool fans are scared of change. Klopp wants to go because he is worn out. It's up to FSG to get the appointment right. Your end part, yes, it is up to FSG to get it right. You are right there. But Liverpool fans are not scared. They're not scared of change. We take it. Well, I'm a Scouser. I'm a Scouser. I'm through and through Scouser. I've been following all the finals since '65, believe it or not. '65. Every final. And the thing is with me, I'm not scared of change. The only time was when I was a kid and Shankly left. And I did us for 6. Then Bob Paisley came in, done nothing in his first season, and people say, look what he's done in 9 seasons. No, look what he's done in 8 seasons, really, because he's done nothing in the first season. And, but then he left, and Joe Fagan took over. And look what we weren't scared of change. And then Kenny, he took over then. And look what he did, he won us the double.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, it's not a matter of Bear. Honestly, it's not a matter of us being scared of change. We embrace the change.
But I think, Frank, when there's 2 things I'm sort of looking forward to. One, that our players don't get injured, maybe, and the second is that our technically gifted players get to shine attacking wise instead of running around defensively all the time. I love Klopp. I love what he's done for the club and stuff, but I think I want to see a bit more from our flair players. And I think the way Klopp's system works, it sometimes takes that element out of their game because they have to do that midfield work. So that's 2 things that could change when a new guy comes in. That's the plus side out of that whole thing.
Okay, let me go through these comments, please, boys, and we'll get right to them. Redbird says, Bear, I ain't scared of change. And Bear's a scouser as well, you know, a big Liverpool fan, goes the game, and you know, we're not scared of change. Believe me, honestly, we're not scared of change. We're really not. The only thing that we're scared of is the likes of Hodgson. If Hodgson's name was there, or Rodgers, if his name came up again, no chance. And Pep Linders, no chance. Daz says, Frank, do you start Mo or Diaz on Saturday? Okay. Anfield Raw. I dream scenario would be get Xabi Alonso, then get Nico Williams and Antonio Silva and Zubomendi. What do you think of that, boys? What do you think?
Tell you what, Silva I did covet was that it was Gabriel Silva, won it for Arsenal. Remember him?
Yeah.
Remember him? The number 6. Oh, he was brilliant, him, Gabriel Silva, the Brazilian, wasn't he? I didn't have covered him at the time in Wenger's team. He made Wenger's second team tick him.
Vieira was an unbelievable player as well. You know.
What did I call him? Gabriel.
Gabriel. I was thinking.
I'll tell you what, boys. Martin Zubomendi is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, but was we pay the money for him?
He's got 35-40 million release.
Sell to buy as usual. And who's you sell? Do you sell Mo? Yeah, there's one for you. Where's the league gone again? Do you know what? Pisses me off. I was going to ask him. That's it. Fucking hell. It's really annoying. He just gets up and fucking goes. I'm going to you, JK. I dream a scenario. I've gone, no, I'm not. Frank says, Daz. Frank, do you start Mo or Diaz on Saturday? Straight to you, JK.
For me, I'm not going to start Salah, 100%. He can wait until the second half, maybe get about 20 minutes. Then the Luton game, probably, maybe even start that game. But for me, I'm not going to start him against Brentford.
Okay. What about you, Darryl?
I'm the same as JK. I wouldn't start him, but knowing Klopp, he will play him.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
No, I don't think he's fit, man. I don't think he's ready to go. I'm with Jake. I'm looking at him for minutes against Luton to get him, because it's Brentford, 3 days, Luton, 3 days, cup final. So if you want to throw him on the bench for a bit of a boost for the kids, you know, make everyone happier, throw him on the bench against Brentford. I don't see the point. Half an hour against Luton.
No, I really think that's great comments coming from Carlyle because he's gone. Don't know where he's gone.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though, Frank. It's like, I don't want him playing at all, but knowing Klopp will play him because he's one of the favourites for Klopp, and every time he'll play him. That's what will happen.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with him getting a little run out, 20 minutes, second half Brentford game, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So depends on how much he's trained this week as well. So it all boils down to that, because we want him to start the final. So for me, to protect him a little bit, just give him a little bit of a taste against Brentford, give him more of a taste against Luton, then he can have the full dinner against Chelsea, you know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, JK, Frank, or the panel, there's one thing I do think will happen, and I'm pretty sure it will. I think Harvey Elliott's going to start this game.
I hope not, because I've said it all along, he's better coming off the bench. And I said again, he proved it against Burnley when he came off the bench, because he ran the midfield. He really did, him and Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just got a feeling.
We'll be talking about the Brentford game, you know, about the team who you'd pick. And Herbert Lum's brother, I'm from Prague, but I have friends in Germany who think he's going to Bayern. They can't wait to get Tuchel out. I hope they're wrong. Says Herbert Lom's brother. It's great,
It's not
isn't it? Herbert Lom's brother.
oh, squeaky door.
Yeah, squeaky door still on the go.
Yeah, he's back there.
Right, I'm going to ask you the question. Lee, you ready? Would you start? Would you start Mo Salah or Diaz against Brentford?
Diaz. Because
Okay.
Diaz has got the shirt. And he's been playing well and scoring. Simple as that, really.
Okay. And I'm feeling raw. Right, I'm going to go to you all now, boys, on this. See, because Herbert Lom's brother, we've already discussed about Xabi, and he won't be going to Bayern. And I think Brian came out with a cracker before when he actually said it'd be murder if he did leave to go to the biggest rival. It's like, we put an example by saying it's like Klopp going to Manchester United. That's what it's like. It'd be murder if he did. And his legacy would go at Leverkusen if he did go to. So that's why he's going. Right, so let's get on to this one. And I'm going to start with you, JK. Watching Leverkusen destroy Bayern at the weekend with a great tactical awareness and flexibility showed me it's Alonso or no one. Amarin is talented. Don't get me wrong. He knows what he's doing. Okay? So what would you say to that?
Like Alonso is Brian's favourite player. I think Daryl's as well.
Yeah.
So in that way, I'm thinking, okay, he wasn't my favourite player. I think he was a good player, but he wasn't my favourite. But now at the weekend, the result he just got against Bayern, that 3-0, it made my eyes open up a little bit more. I think he's sort of fitting into to be Liverpool manager. I just feel the press conference he had at the day after Klopp said he's leaving, or the day 2 days after, he looked so uncomfortable in that press conference. The guy from England went over and asked him a few questions about Liverpool and stuff, and he felt sort of uncomfortable. So going with that, I think he will be Liverpool manager.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Brian?
What was the question? I think, for me, 100% Alonso.
It's got to be. I'm fed up talking about it, because I've already said.
Exactly. It's 100%, Frank. I'm with you. It's like, this guy isn't going to come out and play it.
But one of the lads, he says nothing's nailed on with the owners FSG, and I agree with him on that score. By the way, I really agree with him. But as Anfield Rowe said before, it was the fan base and not Klopp didn't come out and mention. Did it? Klopp mention Bellingham, by the way, or the club? Can anyone remember?
The club, I think.
The only time Klopp said anything about Bellingham, he said that he was a good footballer because he was asked directly.
Yeah, I never heard him mention the guy's name once.
That's all.
Yeah,
that's all.
Once.
99% of the stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, JK, you go. No, I trust JK to get management appointments right in terms of the people who pick the people. That's what those American hedge funds do. They just they put management teams in place, and they say, "Here's the tools, here's the money, here's the infrastructure. Now go do your job." John Henry doesn't want to negotiate contracts with players. He doesn't want to negotiate with Xabi Alonso. They want to put the best technical director in these players, and they sit them there. Now, that's your job, is running Billy Hogan. You run Liverpool. It's your job. Like, I'm John Henry, I own loads of stuff. I'm giving you all the tools. If you don't run it well, I'll take you out. He's given them all the infrastructure. We have this amazing youth team coming through. Players coming up out of nowhere. We have the new academy. Like, I trust them to put all those bricks in places. But yeah, it's those guys at the end who have to execute to get the Bellinghams or to get the Xavi, to get those deals over the line. maybe that's sometimes where we fall down with the finances backing them up. But I trust FSG to put the best people in place because that's their job. It's their investment. They're not out there to make a quick buck off, but they're out there to make sure that the best people are in charge. So I trust that they like. But Frank, it's getting boring because like you've just told everyone, as far as I'm concerned, what we want to hear. It's
Exactly.
done. It's happening.
Exactly. But people, you see, Brian, I'm sorry, people come on late and they don't know what we've been discussing at the beginning. And that's the problem. So someone asks, you know, are we getting the likes of the Bear, for example? He's come out with some very good comments, by the way. But it is he came up with a comment by saying, you know, Liverpool fans are scared of change. Well, that was squashed, to be honest. And also about Amarin coming here. And I think that was good. But he's afraid, like we all are, of FSG because we don't trust them. And let's get the likes up for Frank the Legend says, Anfield's Uncle Rods.
Frank,
Hello, Anfield Uncle Rods. Thank
can
you.
I say something a minute?
Look at this one. Anfield Frank, brackets, Annabelle lecturer. Oh, that's just great, isn't it? Neil Broderick says, my mate said he's just seen Mbappe ordering fish and chips in the lobster pot opposite Central Station. He's definitely coming. Thank you, Neil. And that's all we need.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely ridiculous. It
God's
really
will.
is. And
I remember saying to my little brother in about, I don't know, 1996, I said, Zidane's coming to Liverpool. He's been seen shopping in Daveco on Lineker Road. And my little brother was only like, how old was John then? He was about 12 or something, or 10 or something, and he was laughing his head off, like, because it's a really crappy shop, a really crummy shop, like, by ours. And I just said, yeah, Zidane's been seen filling his basket in there, mate. I didn't say it out the blue. We've been laughing about rubbish rumours and that, like, and people going over the top. And I went away with myself and started being stupid and that, like, but I thought it was quite funny. And so did my little brother. I mean, he's 40 now, but I think he still thinks it's funny.
Well, that was a nice little synopsis of something.
Yeah. Zidane spotted in Daveco on Lineker Road.
It's done deal.
We've got a legend coming on now, lads. It's
Georgie.
This is the lost Shankly boy.
There he is.
The lost Shankly boy. And as we say, he's not lost anymore because he's with us. And it's the great George Scott. Just imagine this fella played for us and we love him dearly. And he's drinking. I can see him on this little screen there. He's falling all over the place. He's drunk. He's like me. He's drunk.
What? How dare you, sir? We should class him to our LFC bosom and sober him up.
He's spreading rumours. He's spreading false rumours. I'm going to sue him for defamation.
He works for the Echo. He works for the Echo.
Highland Spring.
Well, this is it, you see. Like Lee, he's drinking God knows what it is, that big cup of his. It's like a trough. Anyway, I'll get to Jean here, and I'll go straight to you, if I might, George. I always put George in first. Sorry about that. And some lads came on, you know, this lad named Bear, and he said, Liverpool fans are scared of change. And, you know, we denounced that really because we're not scared of change. And Jean says, I'm not scared of change, but I do not want us to drop off like Man United, for example. I want us to maintain and improve. Simple. What do you think, John?
It's a woody, Jean.
Yeah, well, that's what we all want. That's what we all want. We all want us to maintain and improve, you know. It's going to be difficult to improve on Jurgen Klopp, you know. He's one of a kind. But we're going to have to do it, aren't we? You know, we've got the squad to do it, got the players coming through the academy to do it. We need a full squad fit. We need to keep all the players we can keep them on board. Don't let them leave. Certainly not before the end of next season, because we've got big games coming up, and I'm more concerned about these games coming up now. We've got 100% heart and soul to go for these 4 trophies. And I think we'll be going for the hell for leather, and see Jurgen off in a blaze of glory. That's all we can do. And then what's going to be will be. I said in the last podcast, I hope Javi comes. Javi Alonso is a perfect fit. And I do think he's not going to be making any announcements at the moment, because it would cause real problems with Bayer Leverkusen and the fans. Because if he stands up and says, now, I'm off to Liverpool, boys, that's going to, it just won't happen. So we won't hear much, I don't think, about that for a while now, towards the end of the season. But the work will be going on behind the scenes. But, I don't think there'll be any developments, really.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted you said that, because you've said what we've all said, to be honest. You've said exactly what we've all said. And it won't be announced. And it won't be announced by Liverpool either. But, see, it's fans. I think the fans are itchy. They're dying for a name to be there, a name that they want to come up in lights and say, yeah, he's coming. But as you said, George, it could cause chaos back in Leverkusen, back in Germany.
Yeah, they're going for the title. They're going for the Bundesliga title against Bayern Munich. They don't want nothing to affect that before now in the end of the season, I wouldn't think.
Exactly. It's a simple.
At the end of the day, people want to unwrap their present right now. Some of them like and see what's under the tree, but we're going to have to wait, mate. We're not going to find out immediately. So we'll find out probably, or we'll get more hints soon and that, and we'll be getting hints and all that one, like. But yeah, like I said, that's it, really.
Yeah.
I think you'll hear about a sporting director in the next couple of weeks, though. Definitely.
Yeah, we need that sorted out, don't we? We do need that sorted out.
Yeah.
Bloody
yeah, there's one of the great drummers, shall we say. Artie Davis, he's a great fella, good friend of mine. It's the first time I've seen him on here. And he says, sometimes when you get too many stars, look at United. I think he's answering, Gene. I think he's answering. They need a ball each. They need a ball each, and they don't gel. And this is the beauty of Liverpool today. I'm very surprised that the gelling has taken so quickly. I was going to give us until next season. I was open for the top 4 place. I really was.
Yeah,
a little Arab Cup thrown in as well. But look, we're top of the bloody league. We're top of the league. And, no matter what happens now, from now till the end of the season, we're giving it a go. But as you said, George, I think the lads are geared up. They're geared up to give Jurgen a big send-off. And I hope the fans are the same. I hope they respond the same as well. But Artie Davis is spot on there. What do you think of that?
Sorry to butt in. I think Brian hit the nail on the head, firmly on the edge, when he said FSG are a serious business and they're going to look at all possibilities, and hopefully they make the right choice and we're not left swinging. I hope we get our man and things work out. And I'm not expecting a new man to come in and win the title off the bat. You know what I mean? I'd like him to, whoever he is. Of course, I'd like him to. I want us to win the title every season. But you know what I'm saying, don't you?
Well, Gene says, we were talking there before, George, about, would you start Mo or Diaz? And, they gave their comments. They all said, no, Diaz has to be started. And as Gene says, give Mo 20 minutes, that's all. But here's what she says as well, because someone mentioned about starting Elliott. Now, remember, George, we were all discussing and we all agreed that Elliott's better coming off the bench because he's more of an impact player. And as Gene says, well, oh no, please don't start Harvey. And, but anyway, that's it. But Steve Evans, seeing what his wages are, this is when we were talking about Mbappe came up again, George, and it's sickening for Liverpool fans. It sickens me, to be honest, when I see his name. And he's not coming. He's not coming.
We can forget that. We can forget that, Frank. Honestly, that's nonsense, really. There's no way he's going to come here.
He wants a £175 million signing on fee, but you still get fans. I don't know where they come from. I don't think they are fans, to be honest. I just think the jokes.
I think the ones who say it are like young fans who've only been into footy for about like a few years or so. Or when I say a few years, I mean less than 10. And they get excited easy and say weird things online that, like, you know, frankly laughable. Like, you know, I'd never type it in a million years, even if I was blind drunk.
Yeah.
He's not going to come to Liverpool.
I'm sorry there, boys. I'll go to you, George, as well. One thing's for sure. If there's any VAR situations, our great club, right? One thing's for sure. If there is any VAR situations, our great club will not get a decision to go our way. That's for sure. That's what Anfield Road says. And we've been arguing for a very long time on this. And this is to you, JK. When's 12th man coming on?
Yeah, I've messaged him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look, Artie again. When Alonso plays in midfield, our midfield, he showed he could read a game really well, and only Benitez dropping short of over one season. It soured Alonso to Benitez, and soon as he got an offer to leave, he went. And that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But as I mentioned before, he's been seen at Anfield, especially when he was playing for Real and especially when he was playing for Bayern. And he just, someone asked him, what are you doing here? They thought he was going to go in the backroom staff or something like that. He just said, I support Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool supporter. That's exactly what he said.
I had a strange romance with Jabby while he was here. I loved him as a player, but that player's not really my Barnes. He was my favourite because I was a winger and I was only a kid. I like wingers or strikers. I tend to pick a winger or a striker, but I appreciate why people are picking Lonzo as their best, because he was sort of my best, but in a different way. And what was the other thing I was going to say about him? Yeah, whatever, anyway.
Yeah, well, we all know what you were going to say there. We all read minds, especially George Scott. He reads minds. He reads all our minds. And
he's a malingerer.
He's a malingerer. We were talking about Bellingham before, because this lad mentioned Bear mentions Bellingham. He said because he doesn't trust the owners. And he says, we were signing him, it was nailed on and everything else. And he says, at the end, I don't trust FSG, and this is over Alonso coming. And Anfield Road said, hang on, we never ever, it was all fan base hype that Bellingham was coming here. Fan base hype. And he says, I think the only player Klopp mentions in press conference that we got that was when we got Darwin. So you can never read Klopp and FSG media tricks. Least we forget we're masters of negotiation, and he's spot on there. He's absolutely spot on. Yeah, for you there, George. George is a legend.
That's what I was thinking about Alonso. The way he left was unsavoury because Benitez had this fancy for Gareth Barry, allegedly, was the thing that upset the apple cart. Benitez went back to the drawing board and said, I'm going to spew Xabi and bring Barry in. And Xabi got wind of it and went, what, me for him? All right, then, see ya. But I don't know if it went down as badly and as, as that, but it was in that sort of general category of breakup that Benitez was losing faith in Xabi. in his central midfield and wanted Barry, of all people. Bloody Barry Ireland. Now, I like Barry, and he's got the record caps and all. Not caps, the other thing, PL appearances or whatever. But come on, mate. I mean, to let Xavi get unsettled because of Gareth Barry was just tomfoolery of the highest order. I couldn't believe it, mate, and it really annoyed me. But, like, that's life in football, and it's stuff like that happens in contracts and in dressing rooms, don't it, George? You know from when you were a player.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, Artie says, Gene says, great evening to you, George. Not lovely.
Hi, Gene. Hi, lovely. Thank you.
And Artie says, if Mbappe came to the Reds, even if his mum is a big fan of us, he would spread resentment in our team with the wages he would want.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point.
It's just not a smart move in that sense, is as much as it loved Killian here and his mum's a Red and that. It's just not a smart move from so many different angles. There's more than one way to view it. And wages isn't all of it. Like, it's the effect on the squad.
It's all conjecture, isn't it? It is business. Sorry, Frank, go on.
No, I was going to go to Brian on this, and then JK, then Lee, then Daryl, and then you, George, finally. And what it is, we need a director of football. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I think I heard. Someone. I don't. A lot of people don't like him. Yada yada. But Romano was coming out and saying, "Look, certain managers are at the top of certain lists, but until Liverpool bring in a sporting director, there'll be no final decision made on these kind of things." Like, to me, it's an obvious management structure thing where the guy that's actually going to appoint the new manager isn't in place yet. It may only be a matter of we know who both of these people are, and it won't be that big a deal. But the amount of people and the amount of staff that are leaving this summer when Jurgen Klopp goes, with the kind of mess that we've had, you have to call it a mess, really, with Edwards leaving and then Ward coming in and going, and then 6 months later going, no, this isn't for me, and he's out the door. Then we bring in the guy Schmatka, who's clearly done a really good job, but was only ever a temporary appointment. Like, this is the kind of middle management structure that is important. You have to have a guy in place that does certain things. And until we have that guy in place, and this is what, everyone would speak so highly of Michael Edwards. That's how important this guy is. The guy that it's not just a sporting director, it's the next Michael Edwards, the guy who would be a foundational part of a lot of our success for a lot of people. So it's a huge appointment. For me, it's up there with the manager. Obviously, manager is important, but this is the guy that's going to be on the ground, orchestrating transfers, all that. It's got to happen, Frank. For me, it's just as important to get this right. You got to have everything come in and be as smooth as possible, and get the right people on the right plane. They're all thinking the same way. You get some guy coming in, and I think we're all on the same page. Basically, it's massively important.
See, you've got to look at it again. And the way Klopp came out and said he was leaving, then all of a sudden we had no director of football. And then he brings in George Schmatka for 6 months, who's done a good job, as you said. He's done a good job. No matter how you look at it, he's done a good job. But for only 6 months. Now, I was told, and I'm being honest, I didn't even know this fella, because I don't follow other teams. I really don't. The only team I follow, well, two, is Inter and Napoli, only because of my family, That's who I follow. Yeah. Now, this fella named Tim Steeden from West Ham. I got told he's been approached and he'd jump at the chance. Now, that's why he didn't come a couple of seasons ago. I believe last season, because Liverpool wanted him. And what I was told was that he wasn't sure about how the club were going with new owners, because remember FSG said we're putting the club up for sale. So he
Yeah.
didn't know what was going to happen. So he refused to come here.
I
So
think he's
now-
worked at Leverkusen, hasn't he? He's
Yes.
worked at Liverpool completely. Yeah. He went from. So I mean, it all ties together kind of neatly there.
Well, it does, because he actually brought in Xabi Alonso. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
It's
And
a
there
bit
you
too
go.
close, you know, but it works.
Yeah, and it says, fruitful, or will come to fruition at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying on that. What do you
Well,
think, George, about a director of football? Because I think it's extremely important.
very much.
Yeah, very important these days because it's changed dramatically from not even from my day, just from 20 years ago. You know, what I mean, because the manager used to do all the transfer business. The manager, there was no agents. The manager and the player really did all the transfer business. The directors kept out of it. They just said, the manager, that's the money you've got. You go, you be judged on who you buy. That's your judgment. If you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed. But now the players have got agents, multi-million-dollar contracts. You need contacts in Europe. You need contacts throughout the world. You need to be following the game. You need someone that's on the job 100% full time, allowing the manager to concentrate on the team. But the manager's got to approve the people that he puts forward. I mean, it's no good. I don't suppose a director coming into Klopp or to Klopp's successor and saying, I'm getting this man. You know, there must be a dialogue between the manager, the sort of player he wants, the type of player, where he'll fit in the team, his character, how he fit in the city. There's all sorts of things with a player coming to a club, really. Language, you know, it's a big, big, big job, and it's very important. So I hope we get the right man. Man United have made it a big priority, and they've gone to Newcastle and got their guy, you know. So I think it is a big priority for the club to get that position sorted out quite quickly, Frank.
I think, right, I'm going to JK on this, straight to JK, and then I'll join in, boys, instead of me going, you and you and you. JK, Gene says, it's to me, but I'm letting you answer this. Knowing how you felt at the start of the season, would you accept if we did not win the league? We bottled it. I wouldn't, as I believed we are rebuilding, just proud where we are today. What would you say to that, JK?
Well, every new season, I always say we're going to win the league. I've done that since whenever I supported Liverpool. I never go into a league title start of the season saying, "Oh, we're going to finish second or third." So, but now we're in February now. We're top of the league. Okay, City got one game in hand on us, but we beat them at Anfield. It's in our hands. So, realistically, I think just the clock timing, saying that he's going to depart, sort of could have rocked the boat more than it has. But I just feel that we're in prime position to win that Premier League, and I think I don't really use that word "bottled it" because for me that belongs to Arsenal. But we need to.
Fingers crossed.
It's in our hands. It's in our hands. I'll just leave it as that. We need to keep away from injuries. If we keep away from injuries, we're sound.
Okay,
Jay, you got me there, lad. You got me then, Jay.
I'll just go along here. I'll go to you, George. I'll ask you as well. This question, right? Because I'm going to bring I'm going to bring K Mac on in a moment. Now, answer this. Knowing how you felt, this was to me by the lovely Jean. Knowing how you felt at the start of the season, would you accept if we did not win the league, we bottled it? I wouldn't, as I believed we are rebuilding, just proud of where we are today. Answer that, George.
Yeah, I agree with Gene. Yeah, there's no way we've bottled it. Why would we? At the end of the day, from start to finish this season, it's been absolutely excellent. It's been brilliant. We've overperformed against what we expected at the start, in my view. And we've had to come. I've said before, we've had to come back from quite a number of games from one down. We've showed fighting spirit. We've showed everything you need to show to go and win a title. We're up against one of the most, the richest and best clubs in the world, Man City. And we're fighting them every inch of the way. And we have done for the last few seasons. We're the only one that has done. Last weekend, you'd have thought it was Arsenal and Man City. Liverpool seemed to be floating just under the radar. despite the fact there's nothing above us except the sky. So we are basically top of the league, and let's not forget it. It's a fantastic performance to be top of the league, the Premier League, in February, with a couple of months to go at the end of the season, with a home game against City to come. I'm very confident if we can keep, as I said, if we keep our players fit, keep the squad fit, get Salah back in full swing again. We've got every hope to go on and win not just the Premiership, but a couple of other trophies as well. So no, we've not bottled it. No, Liverpool don't bottle it. We've only had one season when I've been worried in the last 5 or 6, and that was last year when we were going through a tough time, or maybe the time when Nat Phillips and Reece Williams
The
was
back was Reece Williams as well, yeah.
Into the back and all that stuff. We were going through a really tough time until Alisson scored that header and put us into the European Cup. But apart from that period, we've been brilliant, and we're still brilliant. So no, I don't think we bottled it, Gene. You're right. You're really right what you say. I agree with that.
Well, in 2 years, we're fighting a quadruple. We're the only team fighting a quadruple. And that says something, doesn't it, for the club and the team and the fans, actually.
Yeah.
And did you get that question, K-Mac?
Yeah.
No one. Go ahead. Can you answer that?
Yeah, you came out.
Guys. Evening, guys.
Okay.
Well.
Sorry about the other night. I got you totally wrong with that Robbo thing and come out with. I thought you were saying you were only on about. I got you totally wrong, mate, and come out with got the wrong end of the stick with you there, mate. Sorry. Do apologise.
I don't even know what you're talking about now. Sorry.
Hey, Mac, he phoned me up after the show.
He's off again.
Don't worry about it.
He's
off again.
He's busy sitting on that chair.
What I'll mention is I watched something before on the James Olcott channel, if you've ever seen it, and he ran a simulation. So it was like a 5,000 times simulation of who will finish where in the league, and at the moment when he ran it, there's like 82% chance that we will win the league, and mainly because of the fixtures that we've got to finish the league. And the interesting thing about it is it basically all rides on the Man City game at home. If we win that game, we have it's like almost a 40% chance of winning the league more with winning that game. And if we draw it, it goes down to 20% for like both teams. But if Man City win it, it goes down to 20% for us. So a lot rides on that game. And I don't particularly think we played well this season, if I'm completely honest. Like, we've gone behind 17 times this season in games, and the majority of our goals that we concede are our fault. Like we carried that on from last season, if I'm honest. Like, we were giving away crap goals constantly by arsing around at the back and just passing it between each other. Like between the back 2 and 3, because we play with like 2 or 3 at the moment, they must have the ball like 100 times, like between each other, like just passing it aimlessly. It's only since Christmas when we've taken a couple of players out of the team, and they're world-class players, but we've removed them out of the team, made the team more wider and pressed higher, and we look like a completely different animal. And barring the Arsenal game, which was a weird one, if I'm honest, but we still could have won that game, which is weird. Like, even the second half, we were the only team that were going to win that game in the second half. The Arsenal fans shut up and their players kind of went back into their shells. And then obviously those mistakes happened, which is just the way it is. It's just typical Liverpool, by the way. That our 2 best players fuck up in the most important game. But it's the way it is.
What was you saying?
These things happen.
I don't accept us losing the league this season because we are in the driving seat. All we got to do now is win all our games, and the league's ours. It's in our hands.
Okay, what do you think, Brian? What?
I was just gonna pop in there and say I'm due on Rod's show at 9:30. So I won't. I know 12th is coming as well, so I'll shoot off and I'll let someone else come in. I just wait. Thanks very much for the invite.
Oh,
And
Cheers,
nice one
bro.
for everyone on the panel.
Cheers,
Yeah,
Brian.
no,
It's great
nice
having
one.
you on. Great points.
Brian
of
will
view.
always be there. Brian, the link
Cheers,
will
Brian.
always be there for you, fella. Okay.
Yeah, and also Frank, I'm also an Inter fan, so nice one.
Are you?
Nice one. Yeah. Always been an Inter fan. Always after Liverpool. Yeah. Nice
Yeah.
one.
Do
All
you
right,
know
we'll
what?
talk again. You know where I am. Anytime you want someone to come on, man, just throw JK the invite, and I'll be happy to come on.
No, the link will always be there for you.
Cheers,
Always,
boys.
bro.
Anytime.
Have a good one.
Cheers, Brian.
Nice
Okay.
one. Take care.
See you,
Bye
Brian.
bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, fella. Thank you. Wow. Oh, he isn't he a nice fella, then?
Yeah,
But
top
anyway,
guy.
Yeah.
you know,
Top guy.
it's
He has some
just,
good comments as well.
yes, hang on a minute. Hang on. Right. Ian McHale says, Rafa tried to sell Xabi in order to buy Gareth Barry, a strange move which backfired badly on Rafa. Yes. And also he says, just let me say this. Let me get in. Yeah.
You know the story about Xabi though, don't you? Like Rafa told him he can't go to his child's birth. That's how that transfer happens.
No, I didn't know them details.
Yeah, he told him he couldn't go to his kid's birth. So Xabi was like,
that was
"Yeah,
it, wasn't
your
it?
mind."
Whatever happened, the breakup was swift. Whatever happened
Yeah, it was
between
that.
the two of them, there was no going back, was there? After it happened,
That's when they fell out because of that, which is a bit of a shit move, if I'm honest, like by Rafa. But he had that in him, didn't
over
he?
Gareth Barry, mate. Yeah, over Gareth Barry.
No, but that's when the relationship fell, and then obviously Rafa was like, I'm going to go for Gareth Barry. It was awful.
Barry was a useful player and all that, but I mean, that's about as kind as you could be about Gareth Barry, is that he was a useful player and a PL stalwart. He weren't no Xabi Alonso, mate. But Rafa was desperate to try and smuggle the PL off Chelsea and United, wasn't he? So he was trying, or thinking. He wasn't trying. He was thinking different things about his central pairing.
Mm-hmm. That's what football's about, though. You get so much things going on behind the scenes.
I can send 12th man the link if you want, mate.
And say that again, okay, Mike?
Frank, I can send 12th man the link. I've got him on.
Yeah, I've already sent it
if
in.
you want. I've just been on your show.
He's the moderator, is JK, so he sends all the links out.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was just saying that football's like that. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Look at Man United. Since Fergie left, there's been crazy things going on at that club. On the field, imagine what's behind the scenes going on. So that's football.
It's very reminiscent of us, isn't it? After Kenny left, well, it's not. It hasn't been as Moyes wasn't as bad as Souness, but he went a whole lot better, was he? So it's been.
Well, here's a comment. Here's a comment, right? And it's only, don't forget, we discussed these comments, right? And I'll go to you, Darryl, because you're just sitting there like a big bloodflower, to be honest. Can't even see you. Right, and Archie Davis says, we were talking to Pep in the training grounds when we met all the team. Pep came over brilliant when he was talking tactics. But why is Klopp's whole staff leaving? They could have carried on with Pep at the front. Is there something we don't know about? What do you reckon, Darryl?
To be honest with you, Frank, how I feel about Pep Linders. I just find the guy so boring. So, and even in his interview, he's just a boring guy, and I'm glad he's going. To be honest with you, Pep Linders.
Oh my, I don't like him at all.
I value his contribution, Frank, but he ain't our manager. That's all there is to it.
He's not manager. He's not manager material for Liverpool. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I'll go over to
no comments. You know what I feel. No comments.
Exactly. What about you, George, and that comment there?
Yeah, no, you need a special person as manager of Liverpool. You need someone with charisma, someone that can relate to the fans, can stand up and inspire people. And with the best role in the world, I think Pep's is second in command, man. He might do well as a manager at another club, I'm sure he will. He's got lots of experience. And he was Klopp's man. He came in with Klopp and his team. I'm not surprised they're all leaving, to be honest, because, at the end of the day, the new manager will bring in their own people in anyway, if he's not satisfied. And Pep wants to be a manager from what he says. And whatever level he manages at, fingers crossed he does well. I wish him really well, but not for Liverpool. Liverpool needs someone up there that's a real charismatic figure. We don't need somebody that's just going to be a Mr. Ordinary. I have the greatest respect to Pep.
The end of the Klopp era means the end of the Klopp era. It doesn't mean replacing him and keeping everybody else. It means new backroom staff. It generally does when you change managers. A lot of the time, more often than not, it means that the backroom staff change because they like their own people.
They normally bring their own assistant.
Yeah, we go back to Shankly's time, as we said many times. Bill took, went straight in with his guys. He had Ruben there, he had Bob Paisley, he had Joe Fagan there, and it was a seamless transition. And it was the same really when it went through to Kenny. But it doesn't always work really. Those were brilliant exceptions. I think to get someone coming in now at Liverpool, if he's the right character, and I hope it is Xabi Alonso, he'll bring people in that he wants to work with. And as long as he keeps the team, the spine of the team we've got now, with the young lads and with the players we've got now, then what a treasure trove he's going to inherit.
I think the interesting thing about Pep and Linders is if Klopp goes into another management role in like a year or so, whether he takes him as an assistant, because I don't think he will.
Okay. I don't think so.
And then that's all you'll need to know.
You got a fan there. Okay. I'm gonna go to this fella. As Sergi and Grace says there, Pepe.
I just said his name for her, Pep and Linders. That's why I said his name.
Yeah, but I think what messed him up was the book. I think if he didn't make that book, people wouldn't be really. They actually appreciate what he's actually done for the club more. I think that book just ruined him in a little bit of a way. His
legacy was gone, wasn't it? A backroom staff, his legacy was gone. That was the end of it. I'll tell you what really got me. I don't know you know anything, George or K-Mac, because I don't. Buvak, the brain.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he went.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Yeah, an unusual one.
And he's not.
Where did he go?
He's not been back in football since, by the way.
It's interesting.
Hi, mate.
Hello.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you all. It's good to see everyone on the panel.
Yeah, good to see you.
Hi, 12th man.
How's it going?
I used to be the 12th man.
No, we all are the 12th man. We all are the 12th man.
Yeah, good one.
We are the 12th man. That's why I like to keep that moniker.
So I'm gonna go to you. Now I'm only going to ask you this. I want this team picked, okay? I want this team picked. And, there's a fan of yours, Ian McKay says, hello, 12th man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna go straight to you. I'm gonna go around now. I'm gonna go clockwise.
Okay.
Right, and you're Lee. Right, just name, because I've got to pick this team. Against Brentford. Pick your back four, Lee. Just your back four. Don't be going on about midfielders and just your back four.
Yes, I'm Bradley, Canate, Van Dijk, and Robbo.
Okay, Darryl.
For me, Gomez right, Robertson left, Canate and Van Dijk.
Okay, George.
Exactly the same as Lee. Conor Bradley, Canate, Van Dijk, and Robbo.
Okay, that's cool. What about you, JK?
Me, I'm going to go Gomez right, Canate, Van Dijk, Robertson.
Okay. K-Mac.
Gomez left, Van Dijk, Canate, Bradley Wright.
Before I go to 12th man, it's only on what you've just said there. Do you think Bradley's head will be clear? Yeah.
He's been in training, and he's also just won Player of the Month. He's on a massive high.
That's a good thing.
Play him.
He's on a high. All right.
Play him.
And down to you, 12th man. Who's your back? Just your back four. No midfielders. No nothing. Go on.
Sure. I'm going to go with Gomez on the right. I'm going to go with Konate, DVD, our captain, of course. And I'm going to go Robbo on the left.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm staying with you now because I'm going to go anti-clockwise.
Okay.
Okay. 12th. Your midfield.
My midfield's a little easier to pick. My midfield would be Curtis Jones on the left, Endo in the 6, and I would put on the right midfield. The right midfielder, I would have McAllister.
Okay. K-Mac.
Jones, McAllister, Endo.
So it's the same as 12th man there.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, the same. Endo, Jones left, Maca right. I like that Maca can play left and right there, and so can Jones, and they both played them both sides. So yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
No, I think Endo's on the right for me. Endo's on the right because Bradley's going to be running up and down, and they need cover.
Yeah.
McAllister will play in the middle.
That's a very good point there.
I went for Bradley over Gomez because Brentford aren't in good form. Although Brentford are the home team, they're not in great form.
I'm not playing Robinson against Brentford. Robinson is awful at set pieces.
Yeah, true. So maybe, that's a good one. Yeah, that's why I went for Bradley over Gio at right back because.
Oh, you mean defensively? I got you.
Yeah.
I thought you meant offensive. I'm like, he's pretty good.
No, he's really good at set pieces.
Yeah, I was going to say he's pretty good at set pieces.
He's good across it.
Right.
Well, Michael, let's just go to these before I go to Daryl. Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate, Robbo for me. That's a solid back line, ready for the Brentford set piece and long throw assault.
Yeah.
Good.
That's it. That's all I'm
And Argene says 100, right? 100%. Jones, Mac, Endo.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
I think it's nice and gritty, that threesome as well. Jones, Mac and Endo.
And Archie says Alisson, Bradley, Konate, Virgil, Robertson. I'm not going to go with them. I'm going to take that off because I don't want. I only said the back four lads. Okay, Darryl, did you say yours?
No, you know what I said earlier on. Everyone's expecting it to be the 3. Everyone's saying, I don't see it. I think they're going to go. I think he's going to go with Endo, Jones, and Elliott. Personally.
Okay. Well, but it's your choice, not Klopp's. Who would you like to see there?
I would like to see the normal 3.
Okay. George.
Yeah, it's got to be Endo, Jones, and McAllister. It picks itself, really, because Szoboszlai's not been playing. Harvey, I think, we said earlier, if he plays, should come on if things are not going right. So it's got to be those 3 that everybody said. I agree with the boys that those 3 players. I will say about Robertson, though, we mustn't forget Robertson. He's up there with Trent as the most assists from a defender in the Premier League. We can't forget all what he's done, Rob, over the last 4 or 5 years. Suddenly, because he's been out for whatever it is with a bad shoulder. I think he'll be back to his best in the near future. He's starting to play quite well now. And Gomez is brilliant as well. So we've got a great choice there. So I like Rob.
It was a long break, wasn't it? It was a long break to get back from. Yeah. So, it has.
Are you really going to play? Are you really
He's made loads and loads of goals for us from that left wing. Hundreds of goals he's made, along with Trent from the other side.
Playing in back-to-back 3 games, I think it's a risk.
Yeah. What was you saying, you care about that.
What was you saying there, K-Mac?
I just think playing Robbo 3 games in a row is a risk.
Okay.
Oh,
Bring him in slowly. Bring him in slowly.
Simmy's back, isn't he? Simmy's back.
I know that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It really is. I was going to go to Lee as well.
He's gone again.
JK, who's your midfield?
Yeah. My midfield, Endo, Jones, and McAllister.
Not you.
Oh,
JK.
It picks itself, bro. Same as the other guys. I'm gonna have Lee on there. I'm gonna have Lee, McAllister, and Endo. Read off the mark, Lee. Boom.
Okay, Lee, McAllister, and Enzo. Okay,
That's a red card.
And I'm staying with you there because I'm gonna go clockwise, right around down to the 12th man there. Okay, Who's your forward line?
Same as last week, Diaz, Darwin, and Jota.
Okay. Come on, Kmart.
What forward line?
Yes, please.
I think it'll be Diaz, Nunes, Salah. I think Salah will play if he's fit. He just will. He's just nuts. Bionic.
He will want to play Salah. I can imagine him saying, "Look, I'm ready for Saturday. I'm ready," because that's the type of guy he is. And that's why his fans love him, really.
Okay. See, Lee's gone. Look, he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know about GK being being the invisible man. He's the invisible man. He's there one minute and gone the next. Anyway, I'll go over to you, Darryl.
Same as K-Mac. Same as K-Mac, Diaz, Nunes, Salah.
Lee, who's your forward line?
Mine is Diaz, Nunes, and Jota.
Okay. George?
I think a lot depends on Salah. If Salah's fit, he's got to play. If he's fit, because he's an amazingly fit person. That's the only doubt, whether he is fit. Klopp will make that judgment along with the medical and training stuff. But if he's fit, I'd play Salah, Jota, and Nunes. But if he's not fit, obviously Diaz in place of Salah.
I think Mo will come off the bench. I don't think he's starting. Mo.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
When's the last time Mo ever came off the bench?
True. Another good point.
Has he ever been a sub?
No starts.
He has been a sub.
I like it. Count and counterpoint.
Quite rare, isn't it? Quite rare Mo on the bench.
If he's fit, he'll play. If he's fit.
I think in the Europa League he came off the bench.
Europa, the Europa game. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to do some multitasking here. It's killing me. Anyway, I'm just going to go through a couple of what the viewers.
Good memory there, 12 man. The last one he done. Sorry, Frank.
No worries. I'm sitting alone. I'm sitting in the top bleachers in the car.
It's only before I get to the 12th man. Right. I only want to say this. Well, Artie Davis says Diaz, Nunes, Gapco.
No.
Okay. And Jean says Jota, Darwizi, and Diaz. And as Artie says, Jota is an impact. Peter Beckett, the voice of a player. Anyway, what do you think? What's yours? 12th man, who's your forward?
So my forwards, I raised this question on my channel, and it was something that is a really interesting question to have to tackle, because Diego's a player that he's just become such a important player for us, the way that he just automatically scores pretty much in every fixture that he sees. Unfortunately, he didn't do that against Arsenal, which he normally does, but it makes it a really complex question to have when, yes, Mo Salah is almost a guaranteed start for the most part. He almost can call his own number when he wants to. And then I think Diaz has really played well for us. I think Lucho has been the amount of effort, hard work, dedication I've seen from Diaz. He's pretty much solidified himself as that left wing choice. So, it really makes a conundrum for you then. Okay, well then who do we play as our striker? Obviously, we all want to see our number 9 in that position, but at the same time, you're stuck with that. Do we sit Diego or do we sit Nunez? It's a very, very difficult question. If Salah is going to be starting, or if he says he's going to start, because we all know that he has the power to do that somewhat, it seems like if Salah's going to start, I say you have to have Diaz and you start Nunez. You're more likely to get an impact performance out of Diego than you are from Nunez, I think personally. And also, we just can't undermine the fact that Nunez is the real difference maker for our entire front line with all the work and everything he does. So if that's the case, but if Salah, if I was Klopp and I could have an impact, I would say, hey, let's start Diego, let's start Nunez, let's start Diaz, and have Salah come off the bench, because I don't want to see a return effect of what we saw with Dom and someone picking up an injury, and losing him for longer in the year. We need him for that City game. So whoever we play in this game.
And the Everton game.
What was that, George?
I see we need him for the Man City game and the Everton game. I agree with 12th man there. We need to watch him, be very careful with him. I'm sure Klopp will, because these are big games coming up after Brentford. We've got Forest, but we've got Everton away, a tough game, and especially City, the big game. As K-Mac said earlier, it's a must-win game.
Absolutely.
I mean, Salah will want to play in the final. Salah will want to play in the cup final.
Yes,
it might be a case of him not even being on the bench, because he'll want to be 100% fit for the final. My only issue is we do need to play Nunez, because Brentford's back four are really slow. You got Ben Mee, you've got I don't even know who the other guys are, but they've got Rico Lewis, who's injured.
Yeah. It can be pulled apart.
Yeah, they've got that Scottish international guy as well. They've got a lot of their pace in the back out.
Henry's out.
Yeah, so we could really get it done with Darwin. He really could.
Yeah. And Diaz.
Jot's not fast. He's good, really good at pressing, but he's not fast. Yeah. I mean, I would say what Klopp would pick. I wouldn't pick Salah. I pick Jota. Anyway. But
even having Salah on the bench is a good thing, just to have him around. Brentford players will look at him and say, "Oh, look, they've got Gakpo and Salah on the bench." Sometimes, even if you don't even get a game, as long as he's there, they say, "Oh, they've got him just in case." He's dangerous. So tactics in that way,
The only issue I've got as well is, say for example, the game's 0-0, and it's the 80th minute, and we bring Salah on to try and win it, and he does that.
There you go.
Runs around like a crazy man and does himself in. I don't know. I'm very wary about Liverpool players coming back from injuries right now, because we seem to be going back to the way we used to.
They seem to get injured.
Yeah, they're coming back too soon.
I remember it wasn't Jota, it was Diaz.
Yeah,
it was Diaz when he went over to Dubai, remember? And we all thought that he was going to be fit, and he was at the top of his form. And then, bang, he got injured over there. Train, for God's sake.
We have to get that medical team out next year.
100%.
Okay, let's just go through these, lads. Herbert Lom's brother says Salah plays 60, although we have a midweek game, so there could be rotation. Anfield Roar. Jota, get onto this one, boys. Jota is our best centre forward, and Nunez best left winger, and Salah is the best right winger. So it's Salah, Jota, Nunez, and that's from Anfield Road. And I'm sorry, just let's go through these. And Darweezy, Shota, Diaz says Redbird, and Artie says when Darwin starts, gets his shots between the posts, someone is going to get stuffing. And he's right though. I think that's what I'll take. Anyway, you're gonna love this, K-Man. I'm gonna ask you, right? What's the score? What prediction? Yeah, look, he's gone. He's like this.
I've got to get
Go on.
all the stats.
You know what score I'm going to say.
Go on.
3-1.
3-1. Yeah, you love that 3-1, don't you?
We love a 3-1.
Okay. Who do you think will score, by the way? What your prediction?
Darwin, Jones. If he plays Diaz, I think Diaz might get one. Diaz is popping up with the goals. Really is.
He's on form. Yeah.
And the comments someone wrote about Diaz not being in the team.
Yeah.
Klopp just loves him. Klopp just picks him. Like, he loves him.
But he loves Salah as well, doesn't he?
He's always in the team. Diaz.
He loves
All
Salah.
world class.
Whether he's good or bad, he still plays him. Still picks him.
Okay. I'll go straight to you, Lee.
Sorry, what was the question?
The question was, there's the monkey disease in Faso Basso. And, do you think it will spread, into Europe somewhere? Especially through zoos and things. God blimey.
I was listening.
Pandemic X.
I had a deep thought of something while you were talking, and it dissipated into
Nunes is concentrating down.
Okay. The question.
Sorry, just recap, and I'll give you my answer.
Okay. The question is predictive score and the scorers.
Okay. I'll go for 2-0, and I'll go for McAllister, and I'll go for Canate, just for the change. McAllister and Canate.
Okay. That's a good.
Maybe a header for
We ain't scoring set pieces against them. They're the best at set pieces.
Yeah,
exactly. We should be scoring more.
There's only them and Arsenal that are better.
I just wanted to change. I just wanted to change with Mac and Ibu.
I want a 30-yarder from Macca.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, I'll take any.
That'll be ideal, wouldn't it? Like a Fulham game. All right, Darryl.
3-1 to us. Darwin 2 and Endo.
Endo. The legend, George.
I think Alisson's going to be back, isn't he, this week? Goalkeeper.
Is he going to score?
He missed.
Sorry.
He's 100%. Well, I think we'll keep a clean sheet against Brentford. 2-0, I think, for Liverpool. I would say, and Nunes and Jota to score. I mean, player for player, we're far superior. Mm-hmm. We've got world class players in our team. They got Tony, probably the one guy that could cause us a problem, and maybe one other. So I don't think we should do much. 2-0.
So is Canate finished his ban? That's the main thing.
Canate's back, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Even had a one-match suspension.
Okay. JK.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with same as George. Darwin and Jota 2-0.
Okay. And our 12th man there.
I have it 4-1. It's gonna be interesting to see how they line up against us, because the last game out against the Wolves, where they got a 2-0 result, they lined up with a 3-5-2, which is a very interesting formation to see. But when we last played them, they lined up in the 5-3-2. So it depends. If they're going to, really emphasize trying to make sure that, that back line is covered, then there's a likelihood that we could look at the 2-0 that was mentioned earlier, something like that. But if they do try to push forward, they do try to make more of it a midfield battle for us this time around, then 4-1. It's difficult to go against Tony not scoring. He's got 3 goals in his first 4 games back for Brentford. So the man is definitely making up some work. make up work for lost time. But having Ali in net will be definitely a breath of fresh air to have for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So 4-1. And the goal scorers I have are I'll go with Nunez, and I'm going to go with Virgil van Dijk and Nunez, and I have Nunez getting a hat trick. So we'll see what happens.
To be honest, I fancy a set piece, whether it's a free kick or a corner on Van Dijk to score.
What's your team, George? Frank, what's your team, Frank?
My team is forwards. It's got to be the front three, and I agree with most of the people there. I really do about Jota, Nunes, Diaz. They've been playing well. They've been playing really, really well.
Yeah.
In midfield, I'll have to play Jones. You cannot drop Jones at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to pick McAllister. You really have. And also Enzo, because Enzo, first game back from his tournament, first half, iffy. Second half, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
So him, right?
Yeah.
The back four, I'll go along with what K-Max says. Bradley, Virgil, Cornetta. You picked Cornetta, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Joe. That's my back four. And I think that's a powerful team to go to. We've been talking really, haven't we? To give. You mentioned it before, George. We've got to get into these. We have to get into them. We have to show who's boss. But if we start off like we did again, let's be honest, boys. I'll go to you, K-Mac. Right to you, because I've never asked you this. When we played Burnley and we kicked off, I expected Liverpool, like against Chelsea, to go straight at them, to go from right from the traps, right at Burnley. Nothing happened. And my other point is this: why did Jürgen make so many changes from the Chelsea game, who he destroyed? You answer them.
So I think we had like a couple of players that were out with the flu, and I'd say one of the biggest misses was probably Gomez, if I'm honest. For me, the whole team was disjointed on the right hand side. They looked like they were getting at us. If you look at the two players that got booked, it was Endo and it was Canate. So we all know the culprit for not doing his job on the right hand side for why those two got booked. And when he got taken off, flipped on his head, didn't it really? They played pretty well. Like, they came at us, but we still had like 25 shots and 80% possession. Like, we should have battered them, but they had two really good chances. And Queven Keller was really good in that game. Like, he did 2 alley saves. We picked on him before by saying, like, every time they have a shot, they score, the opposition. But he dug us out a couple of times. But it was an interesting game. Like for me, it felt a bit weird at home. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it was because, like, we've just extended the ground, but it was a bit flat.
Yeah.
It was a bit odd. It just felt a bit odd. But we got through it, and it was a tough game. Like, it was a tough game. And I'm really happy Nunes scored.
It was slightly strange for some reason. We just weren't on it. And it wasn't that we got battered or that they looked likely to score very many times in, really full-on chances. But we just didn't play well, did we? It was just a strange game, wasn't it? It wasn't a good night.
I mean, their goal.
Yeah.
You can't really blame anyone for their
Young
goal.
Quansah made a couple of mistakes, really, didn't he? I say Young Quansah made a couple of mistakes. It's just not.
Well, they were the mistakes you made.
Oh, well,
that
such a
lad
young player on his Sorry, Frank. He's such a
No,
wonderful young player, and he's been playing so well. But in that occasion, he just slipped up a couple of times, let the man in, and he should have scored. We should have had.
I was on about the Arsenal game with K-Mac. Sorry, George. I was still on about the Arsenal game. You know, that say that we.
Oh,
didn't
sorry,
play
Lee. I
well.
thought we were talking about the Burnley game.
No, I was on about that being a bit. It came out was saying it was an odd game, the Arsenal game, and
I was talking about Burnley as well.
Oh yeah. We didn't play well, did we?
Well, the Arsenal game turned on that mistake by Virgil and the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And that was unfortunate. You know, I think if that hadn't happened, we would have won.
Yeah.
Well, what about what Archie Davis says? And that's a cracker, that. And some of you won't remember this fella, but don't we, George? Jota reminds me of Alan Clark, a sniffer of chances. He's a
nasty little player as well.
Jota reminds me of Charlie George. Do you remember him?
Charlie
George,
broke my heart at Wembley. That
many times.
Yeah, they were a good Leeds team, though, Frank. They were a good Leeds team.
Oh, they were a brilliant team. Absolutely brilliant.
Ronnie Giles and all those boys. Bremner.
Yeah. Norman Ulster. I met him at Anfield once. Oh. And he was down to earth, you know. And he loved Tommy Smith. He called him as we clogger. I've seen him. I said, he's through there somewhere. We clogger. What a fella. And they were proper. I don't mean like they're not proper footballers today, but they were proper hard men. Proper. And they went up the pitch and they shook hands. In the tunnel.
They used to play with a brown Casey. Did anyone ever kick a brown Casey?
Yeah.
You
literally break your feet.
Oh no! Yeah.
No, it was at school.
I was a left footer, and do you know, like between your instep and the bottom of your shin, the very bottom of your shin, you know, if you hit the ball and it used to like bend in. The bottom of my shin, always. And do you know what my grandmother did for me? I used to go, oh, my shit. So she said, when we were playing football, she used to wrap a bandage around. She said, that'll be all right. That won't hurt you, lad. And I used to go in and say, that bandage was no good. Terrible. You know, mollycoddled.
Imagine you, Frank, in the 50s, they used to have that leather ball with the lace. So laced up, you know, and the lace. And Shankly used to love Finney. Tom Finney, that was his idol. And he used to boast that Finney used to take a corner. And he said he'd take the corner and he'd make sure the lace was facing away. So when the centre forward headed it in, he didn't hurt his head.
Nice touch.
A load of rubbish, you know, but that's just stories.
Well, George, you know, getting to that about the lace up, you know, and those heavy balls or whatever. Did you know if anyone ever split their heads open with the lace itself? Because it used to be raised, didn't it, the lace, before they started to flatten it in? Did you know if anyone ever cut their head?
Yeah, the leather casey with the lace. The lace protruded out from the case, and if you hit the lace with your head, it could cut your head. Yeah. I've seen a lot of players completely concussed when they get hit in the head with them balls. You know, ridiculous. I was lucky I didn't play with them, because when I came into Liverpool, we went to the light ball, went to the white ball, which absorbed the moisture and the floodlights, and it was lighter, so I didn't have that. But a lot of the lads that's got dementia now, the reason they've got dementia is because they played with that ball and they headed it consistently. Because the goalkeepers used to bounce the ball and kick it high in the air, and the centre half and the centre forward would jump up and bang, head it. You know, well, you can imagine the damage that was done.
Yeah.
But wasn't Jeff Astle one of the first? You know.
I've got to go, guys. All right. See you later. Up the red.
See you there, K-Mac. Thanks very much, mate. Thank you so much. It's always there for you. Okay.
Yes, mate. Good luck. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just nuts, isn't it? Really, the way football then, the way it was, and these heavy balls, heavy pitch.
I have a question. I have a question then. Since you brought that up, so for instance, here in America, they have the NFL. They had concussions. They have problems with concussions, right? So they had a lawsuit that was going on and everything. And they've made some fund. They made some settlement for that. Do you think that that's possibly the case for some of those players in that era that played in that era that you're speaking of?
Well, our FA are awful, to be honest, 12th man. Honestly, believe it, they're horrible. You hardly get anything off them.
That's a shame.
No, it's very sad.
It's not like
12th man. The team that I played with in Liverpool in the 60s, 70% of them have passed away with dementia out of the 11.
Yeah.
And that sums it up. And it's not just Liverpool. It's a lot of the other clubs with players that are in care homes are being really poorly. We've got one very famous Liverpool player at the moment in that position. And, it's so sad because they have to pay for themselves. They get very little support from the players' union, which they should do.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a bit better now, but it's been bad for a long time.
Is that Ron Yates, George?
That's a shame.
Yes.
What do you think of this, lads? I'll go to you, 12th man. Tony, for one, who would love to come to us, and he's a big Red fan. Would you like to see him here?
So my opinion on Ivan Toney is this: one, I am down on the fact that he jeopardized his club by betting on the team. Yeah. That's a character trait that you don't want to see. When this is something that doesn't go well and it doesn't mix or fit what we have here.
It's a bit of a red flag, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
So there's a big red flag.
Definitely red flag. I would even go further to say, yes, he's certainly someone that says that he's a Liverpool supporter, but I've also seen in an interview where he mentioned Arsenal, where he mentioned, Chelsea,
You've been watching all the
Manchester United.
He's a big red. I'm going
to covering all of his bases. Basically covering all of his bases to say, he knows that he knows he'll get a big time time contract someplace. Yeah. And I'm sure that he's mindful of it to say that he'll go to whoever's willing to pay him and take him in. I'm sure he's willing to go to. But I'm just a little bit hesitant nowadays when it comes to hearing people say that they were or are Liverpool fans like that, because Gvardiol said he was as well, and that was the player that City ended up taking on. And if you're such a big Liverpool fan growing up and everything else, it's kind of.
Do you know what? I'm glad you said that. And it's like Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso, as I mentioned before, when he was seen at Anfield, when he was he was actually playing for Real and Bayern, right? And when he was playing for, and every break he has, he came over to Anfield. Yeah. And one of the lads said to him, "What are you doing there, Xabi?" Because he thought, the lad thought, who asked him, one of the boys, he really thought that he was going to get a job in the backroom staff. And he said, no, I'm a Liverpool supporter. That's why I'm here. I support Liverpool. And this is a very strong hint, shall we say, a very strong hint for him to come over from Germany and to come over from, wherever to watch Liverpool. And you've only got to think about that, You've only got to think about that. Coming over from Spain, coming over from Germany, just to watch Liverpool, because when he was asked, he was a Liverpool supporter. And that's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
Don't his children also call themselves Scousers as well, I believe, right? They pretty much grew up here for the most part,
Well, his son born here.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he calls him a little Scouser. He calls him a little Scouser. He's a Scouser.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know whether you ever know about this, but he kept saying to his dad, "When are we going back to Liverpool?" That's what he keeps saying to his dad. No, he is that.
I like it.
With a Scouse accent.
There you go.
With a Scouse accent. He's had when he going back. But, you know, it's one of these things. So I'll go to
Hey,
you,
Frank, can I say something? I agree with 12th man about Tony. The thing is, you know, I mean, he's a great player and he's a goal scorer, no question. But again, come back to what I said earlier about character. You know, Shankly was a great believer in character, and I know Klopp is. And you must have the right characters in the club. I wouldn't want somebody coming here, start betting and start influencing younger players. So if he's learned his lesson and truly learned his lesson and he wants to get on with the game, then yeah, he'd be an asset as a goal scorer. But again, might upset the apple cart because they've already got a fantastic forward line.
Yes.
Well, to be honest, I'll go to JK about. No, I'll go to Darryl first, and I'll end up with you, JK, if you don't mind.
He's asleep.
Darryl, what would you think about Tony? You know, if Liverpool went after him, would you like to see him come here?
To be honest with you, Frank, I wouldn't, because I don't think Tony would suit our style of play for a start. I don't. He's more of a player who likes to score tap-ins and 2-yard goals, and I just don't think he's that sort of player for us. We'd want him to score quality, worldies, quick goals, and I just don't think Tony's got that ability in him to play our sort of football.
See, what people are forgetting as well, Darryl, we've got Jota.
Exactly.
Jota is a
he wouldn't get in our
goal.
team at the moment anyway.
Exactly.
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't get in our team.
Never.
Exactly. What about you, JK?
I think with Tony, I've never been a big fan of his, and also what 12th man was saying there, and George about his character and stuff. I think Liverpool have always looked at the guy's personality first, and then maybe his talent. It's like when you look at Darwin and Mane, the sort of rough diamonds. You know, they could be a little bit cheeky or whatever, but at our club, they're always professional. So I think Tony might, because of his off-field stuff, I feel that he might have ruined that move to Liverpool. But I just don't see him fitting in with Liverpool anyway. But that's just. But Arsenal, they need a striker, so maybe he'll go there.
But then again, it's only what the lads have said, the likes of 12th man, the likes of George, the likes of myself. Do you ever remember, George, do you ever remember, and Shankly wouldn't sign him, and he was one of the great centre forwards at the time, and he had a bit of a... Frank Worthington. And that was the standard Shankly set, wasn't it, for players?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, we still got that standard for players coming in. We don't want any iffy fellas. We do not. It was like David Speedy. David Speedy was horrible. I met him a few times, and he was a horrible man. He was a horrible man to everybody, even off the field. He was horrible. Anyway, the likes of, you know, other players, they got rid of him because of his nonsense. Also, you see the likes of John Walk, who was one of the nicest. Did you ever meet John Walk, George?
Yes, yeah. I've sat with John at the ex-players' dinner. Lovely man, yeah.
Lovely.
I was a lovely Dave Speedy, but not only about a mile and a half up that way when I was 16, 17, and it never crossed my mind to say hello because I knew he was a little narc. I knew he had a reputation for not being friendly, so I thought, what would be the point of me saying, hello, David, I'm a Liverpool fan. He's probably said, all right, mate, that's nice. So I thought, why bother?
Well, Justin,
that's what I liked about the guy. That's what I liked about the guys I played with, and still today. People like Roger Hunt, people like the Saint. You could talk to them. They'd stop in the street. They weren't presumptuous. They weren't big stars in their heads, you know. And I mean, you look at Roger Hunt. He played the World Cup final. You'd never know if you spoke to him.
The only other one I've seen in the flesh was John Scales, and that was actually at Anfield. I was with my stepdad going in the souvenir shop in about 94, and like he was coming in or something with his beard, and I said, all right, John, mate, and he was dead nice. I didn't ask for an autograph. I just went, best wishes for like your future because he just signed something, and that was it. He's the only one I've ever spoke to. But I did say hello to Ronnie Moran once by Stanley Park coming out the ground, and that's it. That is it for me. Like,
oh, man.
Did you ever know Emlyn Hughes quite well, George?
What's up, Daryl?
Did you know Emlyn Hughes quite well?
Not quite well. I knew him not quite well. I have to say he was outside. He came quite a long time after me, Emlyn. You know, but Shankly loved him to death.
He did.
He sounds like a funny guy.
Well, Shankly loved all his players, didn't he? If
Yeah,
they
he
behaved
made sure they were
themselves.
the right people before he signed them.
Oh, of
Right.
course, of course. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether the 12th man will know this fella. I don't think so. I don't think he was born. Long before he was born, I'd say. Because he's sitting there, he's like a little kid, isn't he? He's sitting there.
I love the history.
My grandson.
I love the history. I mean, look, I've always stated that a team really isn't a team if you don't understand the heritage of it. So
Yeah.
a lot of times when I deal with older or even younger, I always make a point to say, you have to understand the history. There's a reason why you have such chest, why you're so proud of this team. Is because of all the accomplishments that we've had coming before this. So you've got to honor and you've got to always give praises to those that came before you and established this great table that we sit at. That's important.
That's
Exactly.
spot on. You
Spot on, 100%.
spot on there. Really, exactly.
do you
That
know
was
what?
very
Man,
much said
it doesn't
there.
take an awful lot of time to do a bit of research into any club you choose to support, and you've obviously done yours. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Maradona, he supported Liverpool. He came out and he said, I support Liverpool. He said, I've never seen it. And that was after the Istanbul game.
Right.
He said, what a
Yeah.
comeback. I've never seen a team do that in my entire footballing life. He said, what a team. But you know what he loved most? The fans.
Oh, the fans,
He said
yeah.
they never gave up. They never gave up. 3-0 down. The AC were all over them. They were all over them in that first half. They came out and the fans were singing at half time. He said they never gave up.
Yeah.
And that's where it inspired the team, the best comer. And that was Maradona.
Yeah.
That was Maradona, one of the greatest footballers, to grace a football pitch.
You know why I brought that up, 12th man, that you actually know about our club, that the team that you support? Because I had an argument with a Chelsea fan not long ago, and he didn't even know his own club's history. I hated doing it to him online.
Yeah.
But I had to because he asked for it. He was saying Chelsea were bigger than Liverpool, so I said, pardon me, sir. And you know what I mean? And he didn't know 1 year Chelsea won the league before Abramovich bought the club. And that was a simple thing to know from my point of view. If he'd have done his own research, he was 10 years out with his best guess online. And he was telling me Liverpool were rubbish because they just won the Champions League in 2021. And I was laughing my head off. It was dead funny. It went on for a few days as well. He kept coming back at me. And I thought, this people just won't give up, mate. But it was funny.
Well, what I was going to say, right, was a player when I said 12th man won't remember this fella, but most probably he'll know his name. And I'm going over to George there because he'll know him well. Peter Cormack. I was sitting in the stands. Yeah. I was honestly, George, I was sitting in the stands, me and my mate, James Allen, we were sitting there like that. And I was saying, me and James were saying, what's he doing? Honestly, we were saying it. And we were in the, what the main stand is now. And we were sitting there. And this Al fella, he was my age now, what I mean, then, my age. And he went like that to me. He said, listen, he said, forget about that football there. Just watch him. Just watch him. And we watched them. And Peter Cormack had vision. Peter Cormack was absolutely brilliant. What do you think of Peter Cormack, George?
He had everything, didn't he? He was another player that, in a way, didn't fulfill his full potential because he was genius level.
No,
He could have been an
no.
absolute superstar. It's a bit like Beardsley, his touch on the ball and the way he passed it, and he could read situations. And Shankly really loved him, but it didn't quite get to the level that he should have done. I don't think at Liverpool could have had a longer career. I'm not quite sure what happened in the end, Frank, but what a player he was. He was a fabulous
He
player.
was unbelievable. And he has a loopy run, didn't he? If you remember, the way he ran, he never ran like anybody. It was like loopy.
When you think
we have a good history of Scottish players, though, don't we?
Wealth man was saying about the history is very moving, really, because you look at Man City and you read about them now. Oh, we think we're going to get a second European Cup, or Liverpool's got 6. And we were in 3 other finals. We'd have had 9.
Right.
I mean, we're in a different league history-wise than any other club in the country, apart from maybe Man United and possibly in the past Arsenal, when they had that fantastic team, with Wenger.
I hate to repeat myself, but before City won the European Cup last season, English clubs had won the European Cup 16 times, and 8 of them were Liverpool. 6 of them were Liverpool. 8 with the rest of England combined. That sort of puts it into perspective. 8 for the rest of England, 6 for Liverpool. And I don't want to come across like I'm saying, "Oh, we're so much better," but I mean, 6, 8 for the rest of England. It's a
And for a start,
another thing, Frank, Jeff Goulding told me that before Shankly came, Liverpool had won, I think, 6 trophies, maybe something like that, or 8. And since Shankly came, we won 42. So you can see where the difference in the clubs started.
It's a good club to support. You got to support us.
Well, there are 3 comments, and I want to finish on this. That you saw. Right, let me read them out. Okay, let me read them out, Lee. Or I won't have you on the film and the TV show tomorrow. All right. JK, hello JK, you always laugh. Someone says he's selling Lee off. Someone says in the comments he's selling Lee off because he vanishes. Anyway. Right. Let me go through these. There'll only ever been one crazy horse, he must mean there. Emlyn's smile was mega. Absolutely. Just let me go through these, lads. Artie Davis. I was in a disabled entrance and Robbie Savage came in and I asked him to sign my programme. The steward said I was lucky it wasn't Steven Gerrard. He would have just ignored you, and he calls him an arrogant sod. I can't comment on that. I really can't. George says here, Mikhail. Before you answer, I just want to go through the couple of others. What was the famous sweatbox like at Melwood? The wooden boards bring back memories when you look at the clips of Melwood. And right, I can't say that. Well, okay, I will. Crazy Horse ain't no autocorrect, a bitch. And Artie says, we were buying Frank Worthington and he failed his medical, so we went and bought Peter Cormack instead. He looked like he could be a ballet dancer. Thank you, Artie. I'm glad Artie's in the entertainment business because he knew. I was saying he ran like loops. He has a peculiar run, but what a brilliant. Anyway, lads, what do you think, George? I'll be going to around you to see if you know about this. George, the sweatbox. Tell the boys.
Well, the training was very innovative at Anfield when Shankly took over, and one of his innovations was these wooden what they call the sweatbox. But the sweatbox was 4 wooden boards about the same shape and size as goalposts, and they were about 30 yards apart. And they formed a square, and the player would go in the middle, and the trainers, Ruben Bennett or Joe Fagan or Bobby Paisley, they would ply the ball in, and the player in the middle would hit the ball against the board, catch the rebound, turn, hit it against the next board, catch a rebound, turn till it goes round all the boards, and it would be on the clock on a stopwatch, and you'd have to do 2 minutes, and you wouldn't be allowed to stop. And it could be quite muddy as well. And then the next player would come in and do the same thing. And the other wooden boards they had were about 40 yards apart, 2 goalposts, but they were solid. The goalkeeper would go in, the 5 forwards would line up, and Ruben would place the ball in front of one forward who'd run in, say it was Ian St. John. He would run in and hit the shot, and the goalkeeper, Tommy Lawrence, would try and save it. If Tommy missed it, it would hit the board and come back, and Ian would put it in again until it finished. And then Roger Hunt would come on, the same thing. And then the reserve team would come on, 5 forwards from the reserve team, and then the apprentices. And that was part of the training. The rest of the part was like laps of the pitch, step-ups, weights, and you'd have one group doing the weights and the step-ups, one group doing the lap of the pitch, and one group in the shooting boards. And it was non-stop. It was like being commandos. And that's why they were so successful, because they had one of the fittest teams in the league, and they went maybe playing 13, 14 players in 4 seasons. Nobody ever got injured. I don't understand why they get injured so much today, because nobody got injured in my day, and it kept people like me out of the team. But that was what that was what the sweatbox was.
Well, to be honest, before I go over to 12th man, to me, players, your players in your day had thicker legs. I know it sounds mad, like, but they had thicker legs for some reason. Today's lads, they're more slim and refined. Did you ever, 12th man, you know your little history about Liverpool? We're made up with that, by the way, but we are made up with that. Did you ever see any film of what George has been talking about the sweatbox?
No, but it's like I said, it's things like that are so intriguing that I will go and research that now on my own, to learn that bit of history and understand that. Because what I was gonna add to the conversation was, so often people act as if football started with the Premier League. They act as if football started just in the past 30 some odd years, and there's a glorious history, but beyond just the Premier League, and one of the unique things, I know you brought up Cormac, for instance. I do know his name simply because I saw an article that spoke about him battling dementia now, and my grandmother had to deal with that too. So it's something that is a serious concern for anyone that has to have that go on in their families. And my thoughts and prayers go out to his family. But I also know that, yeah, you're right. Because of me seeing that brief little article, it made me then see, okay, well, who is this player? And then you get to see how he was a part of some great teams in the 70s, and how he was, had a real part in some of our history. So those things are really important. And I also wanted to make sure that I say that I think that those that don't recognize the history are doing a disservice to those of us that have lived through these historical moments. Like, as in, it's great and all well and good if you're new to the club and new to this whole winning experience that we're going through and everything else. But there's been some dark times for this club. There's been some bright times for this club as well. 70s and 80s, most notably. So I just always say that for myself, I started following this team in the 90s, but it's still now going on 3 decades now of following this team. It means something to me to have this resurgence and this renewal of appreciation for the club, because again, I know what it's like to have gone through some bad times. Like, the 90s weren't exactly the greatest of times when it comes to silverware and getting into debates with Manchester United fans, those kinds of things. So,
well,
you should give your contact details to Frank, and I'll send you my book, and then you can read about the history there.
That's even better. That's even better for
Get
sure.
that done.
Boys,
Yeah,
I've got to shoot because my lad's having his tonsils out in the morning, really early. So,
I wish you well, Daryl.
Oh wow,
guys,
That's his book.
Good luck to
There you
you.
go.
wow, that's really
thank
cool.
you all, boys.
George, that's George. Look, the Lost Shankly boy. And we were talking about it, for the first time, putting it up, and the Lost Shankly
Yeah,
boy.
no.
And one of the comments, I
Just
don't know
we
whether
give him an insight into how it was then and how it all started. So I'll be happy to do that. If you give your details to Frank, he can direct message me and I'll send you a copy.
But
Absolutely.
you know what? You know what though? Well, as I said, we were discussing this, and Marios's book, The Lost
Yes.
Shankly book, and
It's a great
the lads
great
come
cover,
up.
by the way.
I don't know whether it was Anfield Road or somebody read it and said, "The Lost Shankly boy has been found."
He's been
That was
found.
a great comment. It was a great comment. The Lost Shankly boy has been found. And that's why, George is one of our, legends, the Shanks. He knows
Found
the
under a rock.
Shanks.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Frank, I've got to go now, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I've got
okay,
to go.
George, give your wife my
Cheers,
love
mate.
and see you on
Got to go and
Tuesday.
put you to bed now. So I'll see you on Tuesday.
Take
See you
care,
on
George.
Tuesday,
Pleasure.
George.
Pleasure.
Nice to see you, 12th man.
Definitely
Lee,
pleasure.
Daryl,
Honor,
wherever you
pleasure,
are.
honor.
You again.
KK. Good night. God
Take care,
bless.
bro.
Good night.
God
Good night.
bless.
Thank you, George. Isn't he a sweet man? Isn't he
Top
a
guy.
sweet
Great guy.
I love him, honestly, really love him. And they're
Got
all
class.
saying together. And anyway, just what a name, Justin F. Ante. Love it. Love these names. And he says 12th, spot on, circle of life. That's your comment, what you were
It certainly is. It is. It is certainly.
But we're in what you call that mode, international mode, because Ali Moose from Romania, I think he's living in Romania. Hello, Ali. I hope you're well. I really do. And funny enough, Philip Bidswell said, I hated the 90s when the Manx were winning all the time.
We went so bad so quickly, and they went so good so quickly. It was like an inexorable rise of Man U and an inexorable decline of Liverpool. And I was 17 in 1990. So, it wasn't good. But I had seen us win 12th man when I was small. And then when I was in school and in my mid-teens, we were still the best. But then we just went off a cliff, mate, and we were nowhere forever until Rafa came. And my little brother, he's 10 years younger than me, 12th man. He'd never seen us win bugger all, mate. He'd never seen us win anything. And he'd been waiting. So, you know what I mean. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm a 90s. I'm a
He's a 90s fella. You don't have to ask it. He's a 90s
So you're like, I'd say you.
I started watching in the 90s. So
my brother's age.
I'll put it that way.
He's towards my brother's age, I'd say. So, you've had to wait a long time to see us in that Premier League, haven't you?
Well, not only that, it's more so for me was like, during that period, we won like a League Cup, and when we in 2005, when we finally won the Champions League again. I mean, that was just like you could finally exhale almost. You can finally you can finally have something to hold your hat on, because before then it was a very, very thin packed era of silverware for us.
Yeah. But,
can I just say something there?
That is sport for you. You've got to have good and bad times as a sport. Sorry, Frank.
Can I just say something? Archie Davis says, I collect autographs and I have 380 autographs. Alicia Scott has said that. When I was at the training grounds, I showed Klopp the programme of my first game, the 14th of April 1956 versus Port Vale. We won 4-1. He was fascinated with it. Now, I was talking to my daughter the other day, And you know when we played Burnley and it was actually full, but it wasn't really full because that bloody corner still hasn't been finished up. And it says that we're going to have the biggest gate. And I said, no, it's not. You know, because it was coming on their social media. Liverpool was putting out the biggest gate never. I said, no. I said it wasn't. The biggest gate was against Wolves in a cup tie with 62,000. 62,000 in that game. So, you know, Liverpool are getting it wrong, by the way. And they say, oh, no, it's only a league game. No, if a gate's a gate of 62,000, no matter if it's a cup match or a league game, you know, you've got to beat it. You've got to beat it. And we won't beat it. Now, he's talking about programs. Are you there, JK?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, he's talking about programs. And I'm going to show you, you're going to go mad here, 12th man. You're going to go mad. You're going to fly over.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
You're going to bagel his house, and especially Artie Davis. You're going to bagel JK's house, because I've got something for him, and he knows what it is. It's only a JK.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Right.
unless Gino DeCampo beats you to it.
Right, that's the Champions League final.
Wow.
Against right in Madrid against Spurs. But look now, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
See that 12th man?
Wow. Yeah, I do.
And who's that?
Is that Mo Salah's signature?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty cool.
Oh,
wow, that's really cool. You need to frame that, Frank. You can't don't be putting fingerprints on that, you know.
I've got something else here as well. Yeah, got this here as well. And Artie, like, you know, collects autographs and that. And look at this one. Now, you will know about this fellow. Okay?
Okay.
12th man.
Oh, yes, surely. Yeah.
Kevin Keegan, cool. He's running into the cup, and he's just
that's a timeless photo too.
Both of them are proper, you know, signatures. They're not like stamps or anything. They're proper signatures.
Yeah, you need to frame those. Definitely need to frame them.
well, this one, the Mo Salah one, is going to JK.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Thank you for that.
That's a beautiful.
Do you know what he said to me? Do you know what he said to me? Will you fly over and come over and stay? You'll be coming over here before I'll be going over to Germany, you know. But it's just great that people appreciate things. And I've got something there. I'm going to show you. Showed this the other night, by the way. Showed this the other night, 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you see that book there? That's a book, right?
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover.
It is. And it's a first edition, printed in New York in 1946. And the illustrator, and he's only ever done one book, illustrating a book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, it's a first edition, 1946.
It's like an MC Escher, almost looks like MC Escher or something.
I love MC Escher. Oh, nice one, 12th man.
Well, is that who it is?
Oh, blimey, can I finish?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bury the lead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where'd you get these fellas? God blimey. Anyway.
They're my bros, man. They're my bros.
Yeah.
Anyway. Love you.
That is incredible. MC Escher. Wow.
Right. I'm going to tell you, that book, the first edition is of Macbeth. It's my favourite. Yeah. It's my favourite play of all time. I studied Shakespeare, see. I studied him. Anyway, and this person knew about Macbeth and me.
Oh, wow.
I got it for my birthday. She sent it on my birthday. A lovely lady from New York, by the way. And she said, "Hey, Frank, that's for your birthday." I couldn't believe it.
That's
It's worth a lot of money. And do you know who the illustrator was? And you said, "Oh, what a beautiful cover." He designed the cover also. Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. Okay.
Wow.
That would be, actually, you know, I was going to guess Salvador Dali, but then the intricacies of the book very
unusual. See, I don't like opening it. I really don't, because of the spine.
Yeah.
But let me just open.
This will make you laugh. Remember, I was telling you the other day, I don't remember doing Shakespeare in school because I wasn't very attentive in school. I went over the road there to a night school to do it, and I bumped into some lad who was in my year in school, and he was doing like something to do with building, like roofing or plastering or something. And I was talking to somebody on Facebook the other day, and they said he's a millionaire. But I don't know if it's true, but he's probably well off because he's done.
Wait a minute. I'm holding this up very delicately. I'm like, what's his name? Moses holding up, you know, the Battle of Jericho or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, that's one of his illustrations.
Wow. So Salvador Dali did not only did the cover, but he also did the illustrations in the book as well.
All the illustrations, yeah. Because
wow, that's incredible. That's a beautiful piece right there.
There's a signature. Salvador Dali. You know, well, Salvador Dali's initials are there, all matched up.
Isn't Salvador Dali the artist that would didn't he used to like sometimes make different paintings to pay for his his meals?
That's right. Yeah, it's that great. It's brilliant, that, isn't it? He'd do a little impromptu bit of artwork, wouldn't he?
Well, the thing is, you know, Picasso, he used to have a mate when he first started off, you know, doodling or whatever. And years later, after he died, you know, he's well dead. And some little grandson, you know, great grandson went up to see his granddad, you know, great granddad. And he was sitting there, you know, talking to him. And all of a sudden, conversation of Picasso came up because he was studying in college the arts, especially Spanish art, you know, artists. And he said, "We're doing that Picasso." He said, "And he's so abstract, granddad, great granddad, whatever his name, Pablo, whatever his name was." And he said, "You know what?" He said, I can't understand." He said, "Oh, I knew Pablo." He said, "I knew him." He said, "You knew Picasso?" He said, "Yeah, get onto this. This is genuine, this." He said, "In fact," he said, "he stays here a few days and he gave me a painting." He said, "That might become valuable one day, hopefully." And he said, he said, "What have you done with it?" He said, "It's in the loft." He brought it down. Do you know how much it was worth? £14 million it went for.
And it was in the loft.
14 million. And he just had it in the loft. He said he didn't like it. He said he wouldn't hang it on the wall.
That's incredible.
What great stories, you know?
Yeah. But it's stories like this that are important to share.
You know what? I've never really understood art. I've tried to. Like, I do a little bit. I know what I do and don't like, is all I can say about art. But I don't really understand it.
What it is with art, it's you're in control of which direction you go. That's what art is.
I've got look at that. He said, "I've got Liverpool versus Birmingham 1920. Yeah, I've got Keegan's. I got Mo Shines' pick on a ball. Very brilliant." And there's Drunk, one of your fans there, 12.
Yeah, I see that.
And he comes back and says, "Frank and Lee, you got to make some content at Jürgen's. Promise you this. I might go down for the final to Jürgen's. I might. I'm
the
not,
final
I'm not
game?
saying I will, but I'll definitely go down one away game
Hmm.
down to Jurgen's. I want to meet Mario and I want to meet Alex as well. So, tell them I'll definitely be down in the next few weeks. Okay, thank you, Drunk Vigo.
Yeah, I was gonna say to Lee also, I know you're getting into art a little late, I know, but I was gonna say, if you're into Picasso, then check out Henri Matisse, who's like a big
Love
rival
Matisse.
of Picasso, and then
Love
also Amedeo Modigliani. There was a movie actually out there on Modigliani's life, which is really interesting as well.
Have a nose at that then, yeah. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Yeah, I will do. I'll have a nose at that.
The
Yeah.
movie is really interesting, actually, to tell you the truth. It's with now I'm gonna go blank on the oh wow, he plays in The Godfather 3 too. I'm trying to think of his name. He's also
Andy Garcia.
Yeah, Andy Garcia.
Okay.
Andy Garcia plays Modigliani in the movie.
Okay, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
No, look at that drunk. I need to believe you're in Liverpool. Is that me or what? I don't know.
Where exactly is Jurgen's? Is it like
that was Scouse proper. The way he said that, they're in Liverpool.
Yeah, look at that. Drunk Vigo says, "You guys are discussing fine art." And he carries on by saying, "All we need is some fancy red wine and Miles Davis music."
John Coltrane. How about John Coltrane rather than Miles Davis? But
brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. I like Chuck Berry. I love listening to Chuck and Fats.
Best Domino, yeah.
Yeah, well, I had his album, and it was in pristine condition.
Oh wow!
And I had a Beatles one, right? Please, please me, all signed.
Oh my goodness!
And all pristine, by the way.
You need to go to Christie's auction house or something like that. And
well, can I finish, please?
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, it's okay. You always come to an end of a story, you see. And someone, we let them finish. Because what has happened, Fats, and it never has a name on, and that's the most important thing. As long best wishes, Fats Domino to Frank or whatever, and never had that on. So no names were on it. So that's that's prestigious. That if you're selling anything, you don't want a name on. You want the fella's name on or the girl's name,
right?
If you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I had these, but I had more as well, by the way.
That's really cool.
Please, please me, signed by John Paul and George. Right. Wow. Blueberry Hill.
Mm-hmm.
The album Blueberry.
Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry.
Signed by Fats,
And
when my relationship broke up, I picked my bag up, well, come back for your bag tomorrow. I said, okay. All right. So anyway, Frank went back for the bag, right? And brought the bag and went to our kids. I said, stay here for a couple of nights. He said, yeah, okay, no problem. So he put the bag down. So Frank going to bed, and I opened my bag, to get something out. Have a guess what she done? She put them in the oven. She put them in the oven, and everything. Even my shoes were all curled up. My Fats Domino was gone. Curled up. Yeah. Please, me album all crumpled.
Oh my gosh!
So that's some bad luck with lovely women over the.
Yeah. I know. I can understand that.
And it's just shocking. Do you know what? Drunk Vigo Ernest Hemingway spent time in the Basque Country with Xabi Alonso's grandfather.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
That's incredible. I'm a big fan of the Basques, by the way, and I'm a big fan of the Catalonians.
Hmm.
You know, the likes of Barca as well. But Inter Milan and Napoli. You know, only because of my mum and my grandparents and that, you know, and my uncles. They were all Inter, and they were split up between, albeit that Inter was in the industrial north and Napoli, well, bottom, you know, of the boot. And so they were all split on that, but unbelievable.
Who's yours 12th Italian team?
Sorry?
What
These in 12 months, Italian teams.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, who would I? You know what?
Like?
I'm going to say this, and it's actually an episode that I'm going to be doing pretty soon, which is I don't follow, or I don't really have a team other than Liverpool when it comes to football. I do like I do admire certain players on other teams and everything else, but like when it comes to me, like because the Champions League exists, it's difficult to like an AC Milan or like Bayern Munich or to like another team, despite the fact they're not in your league. Chances are you might find them in the path of you getting silverware in Europe. So when it comes to those kinds of teams, I'm like, I normally like, I don't necessarily call myself a fan of like Juventus or Inter Milan or something like that. I always say like as I don't want to come up against that conundrum or that problem.
Yeah, well, I'm the same both. The same both. I like Parma. I always like Parma because I liked their kit in the 90s and they looked good and had some players I liked. So I used to like them. It was simple as that.
The top of the second division, Parma.
They gone down after.
Well, Juve is like the Man United of the Premiership.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I mean, Inter is like the Liverpool of the Serie A as well. How about that? And Justin F, a great name that. Justin F. Anti. That's a cracker that. Come on, Eamon Melville obviously has his Liverpool history. Yes, he does, because Moby Dick, he was actually here in Liverpool, and he didn't like it. He didn't like Liverpool. He said there was too much hassle and everything else. You know, you can imagine the 19th century, and he was getting there mushed about and whatever. And he said, that's a rough place, that. But he was down by the pier, you know, like by the docks there, where he was. This was known as the port of 1,000 ships. I do know my history, by the way. And he wrote some of his novel. I tell you who else wrote some of his novel as well here. Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe wrote, obviously he wrote, what did he write?
Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, and he wrote some of it. He wrote some of it here in Liverpool, which was great. Franz Liszt did some of his composing here as well. You know, the great Hungarian composer. Szoboszlai's uncle. Anyway, lads, it's been a fascinating historical turnaround.
Yes.
Really has.
Trip down memory lane.
Very intellectual.
Look at this, 12th man. You're going to love this. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that a lovely comment? That's a beautiful comment.
That is beautiful.
TW74. Great show, Frank. Loved it. You never walk alone. And the 12th man is embarrassed by me, bro.
No.
No, we're never embarrassed, are we, lads?
I'm humble. I'm very humble.
It's been a privilege to have you on 12th.
Oh, pleasure. Pleasure and honor, as always.
No, it's great to have you on. You can come on anytime.
Appreciate it.
And it's the same as JK. He just sends you, the links anytime. Even when you finish your show or whatever, if you finish before I finish,
Sure.
just come on. There's no problem with that anytime. And yeah, look, and you know what? I've got to say this.
Oh yeah.
There's a boozer named after you at Anfield, the 12th man. Now, I remember seeing you. I think you were on the Jamie Phillips, comment.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I asked you if, obviously the 12th man. I thought that you were one of the punters in there. And you called yourself the 12th man. I really thought that you were a scout who goes to the 12th man for a bevy. Unbelievable. Absolutely.
Scouser at heart. I'm a Scouser at heart, for sure.
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. Anyone, someone was mentioning about the outside fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hang on a minute. I said, we Liverpool fans, us, who support Liverpool and from Liverpool, we embrace our fans who are all over the world. We embrace them.
Yeah.
We love them.
So we United who've got a good worldwide fan base to rival ours, and I don't want to really take it into them dimensions, going only them have got as many fans, but the other English clubs just haven't got that bigger worldwide fan base, and ours is all over the world as well, in every conceivable part of the globe. So it's good.
I was watching a documentary. Listen to this, 12th, and you, JK, and you, Lee. I was watching a documentary, and it was about Borneo, because I love documentaries, and things like that. And they were in the middle of a bloody jungle, and they were clearing it. Then all of a sudden, they were walking down this sort of a dirt road, and I wouldn't even call it a dirt road. I'd just call it a path. And they come, this is genuine. They come across like a little mad village. So, you see these people, they're just staring and whatever. And you see these little kids playing. And you see this little kid, coming from behind the camera, running down the street, just jumping and playing with other kids. And he has a Liverpool shirt on. A Liverpool shirt. And on the back of it, it has Rush. Being Rush.
Yeah.
The shirt was much too big for him. But that's in the middle of Borneo. Borneo, of all places. It could just go like that on a map. There's Borneo there,
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to say it's incredible. The fan base. I'm not saying the kids was a Liverpool fan or anything like that, but how did that shirt end up in a village in the middle of Borneo? You know what I mean? It's incredible.
It's incredible.
That's all I'm saying. About our club, about our fans.
Frank, can I say one quick thing, Frank? I wanted to say too, whenever someone says something about the global fan base or makes sometimes, oh, well, you're not from Liverpool or you're not in Liverpool, why do you support this club and everything else? Or they even question your heart and commitment to the team. This Saturday, I have to wake up the game is on at 5:30 in the morning. Okay. And I will watch the game. Okay. But sometimes the game's at 4:00 in the morning. If I'm in LA, the game is on at 4:30 in the morning. And here in America, we have supporter boozers. And in our supporter boozers, the boozers will open up despite the fact that they can't sell alcohol. And then at whatever time that you're allowed to, normally at 6 a.m., if the game is still on, they'll open up the taps and you can start drinking. But it's just the sheer fact that you're surrounded by people that have a commitment and make it an effort to show the love that they have for the club, to wake up at those times of the day or never go to sleep and sometimes, from that part of the night, to show that you love this team so much, to go and watch your team in that fashion. I don't know how you can knock anyone for that. And that's something.
Well, no, you can't, and that's 100%. It's like Drunk Vigo, what he says, the 12th man has given his life to Liverpool. That's a fantastic comment, and it's not only you, it's others as well who I know.
Yeah,
they just love Liverpool Football Club. You've got the likes of Jamie Phillips. He's down in London. He just loves the club. He loves the fans. He loves everything about Liverpool.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And I think it's good. Oh, I've got to go on to this. And Drunk Vigo says the foreigners put money into the local Liverpool economy. Absolutely right there. Absolutely. And it pisses me off when, people have a go. I'm saying, look at these, with the half and half scarves. Now, the half and half scarves are people who come to Liverpool for the first time. They've been following Liverpool, forevermore. And they get the opportunity. They must have saved up, a lot of money to get here, to get a ticket. And that's why they buy a half and half scarf, to say to their friends, that's the match I went to, Liverpool versus whoever it is. You see what I mean? And people sneer at that, and I don't like that at all. I really don't, because as I said, 12th man, I embrace our fans. And Mark Simons, Mark, don't ever comment again. I can never say this. After that name, is that Kvaratskhelia, is it, from Napoli? I wanted him 2 or 3 years ago. Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia, I think they say it. Kvaratskhelia.
I just call him KK. That's his initials. I just call him KK.
Yeah, just KK. Yeah, why not, from Napoli, and Diamendi from Lisbon, and Xabi Alonso as our new manager, and we are cooking. That's what he says, and I'd love that fella. He's a right winger, and I'd love him at Anfield because, as I said, I watch Napoli. He is absolutely superb, an unbelievable player. So, and as when I put that up for you, well, so my insights are powerful. So listen, lads, have you enjoyed it?
Sure have, mate, yeah.
We've spoken about football, we've predicted the scores, we predicted the team, we love the Liverpool, we were talking about art. Talking about Salvador Dali and a lot. Matisse, I love Matisse. Love Matisse, I love my art, to be honest. But anyway, I can't afford any of them, to be honest. I've got a couple of prints, I'll tell you what you want to look at before I go. He's a Scottish painter, and he's got a great Italian name. And I've got one of his prints here. I think he's absolutely wonderful. But the art world, they shun him because he's a self-taught artist. And his name, just have a look at him up. Just look at him up. If you don't know him, look him up. And his name is Jack Vetriano. And he's a Scottish artist. He's absolutely brilliant. Jack Vetriano. I just love his work.
There was a good Francis Bacon live stream about 6 months ago on. There's a stream called Academic Agent. It's not how it sounds that it's like highfalutin. It's quite a good stream, but the guy, his dad's Iranian. Yeah, his dad's Iranian. But they had a good Francis Bacon live stream, and they just put up Francis Bacon paintings, and we'd all have a go at interpreting what it was. And we were talking about Bacon's life, and I know quite a lot about Bacon. So I had a good play. Even though I don't know a lot about art, I was prepared to go into it blind and go on about art to people who know more about art than I do. Do you know what I'm saying?
One of his great quotes, actually, Bacon's, Sir Francis Bacon, was reading maketh the man. And if you think about that, reading maketh the man. Because if you can read, you can do a lot. And he's going back. Did you know, by the way, that he was Liverpool MP?
No.
Well, he was. In 1588. 1588.
How right.
Because he was ostracised by the Elizabethan courts because he said something, nasty. So they went, okay, just like Michael Heseltine when he became Minister of Merseyside, he was demoted from Thatcher's government. So he was ostracised. He had to come to Liverpool to be an MP. He never ever came to Liverpool. He was just the MP for Liverpool. In 1588, as I said. It's just nuts, isn't it? And what does Ian McHale, as long as the song goes, boys, we are Liverpool. Frank, we are Liverpool, Frank. The best football team in the world. Yes, we are. Yes. And Mark says, Brentford going to be tough with Ike and Tony back scoring. I hope Bradley is okay to play after his tragic loss at a young age. But we had K-Mac on before, and he reckons that he'll be playing anyway. So that's all good news for us. And I don't want you to get off of this at 12th man, but the likes of JK and Lee, we have a film and TV review, where we review TV series, where we review films, both old and new. And it's quite good.
I do. I've watched it. I've commented. Yeah, I leave comments.
Sorry, there. That's it. No. That's it. You want to get some sleep. That's all that I can say. But listen, boys, it's been a pleasure. I love you, honest to God. I really do. I love our commenters. All the lads and the girls on there who've been commenting right through. And you know how long we've been on? We've been on for over 3 hours.
Heavens to Betsy. Where has all the time gone?
And as Mark says, good night from sunny Gibraltar. Now,
Thanks,
you know
Right, man.
what you've got to do, Mark? You've got to tell these British over there to give back Gibraltar to the Spanish.
Aye, it's a small rock.
No, it's not.
It's a small rock, yeah.
It goes back to Nelson. Nelson said, "Oh, we love this for strategic things," because he was king of Naples. Actually, was old. Do you know when he died at Trafalgar? Yeah. And you see these people. You see the portraits, and they say when he's supposed to have said, "Kiss me, Hardy." He never said kiss me, Hardy. He said kismet, Hardy. Because there was another captain. When you see him, there's two captains either side of him. One is Hardy, and you see him looking up and saying, kiss me, Hardy. But he never said that, right? And the other fella who was on the other side, his right-hand side, that was Captain John Oliver. And John Oliver, I'm going to leave you with this. You're going to love this. 12th man, right? Because you're a good old American, right? So anyway, John Oliver, right? Genuineness. John Oliver, get onto this. John Oliver was a Liverpool sea captain, and he said to him, he said, listen, lads, I'm going up on the deck. This is Nelson, and he said, don't go up, because the ships, both British and the French, in the crow's nest, they had snipers.
Mm.
And he said, "Don't go up." He said, I want my men to, see me." He said, "Well, don't wear." This is John Oliver.
Mm.
Do not wear your medals. Please don't wear them. And anyway, he says, "I'm wearing them. I want my men to see that I'm with them." So he goes up with his big medals on and whatever. And he was shot, right? He was killed. Not right away. He died of his injuries, his wounds from the musket shots. And he died. And it was John Oliver. Now, John Oliver, he lived until a ripe old age, about 101, and he's actually buried in St. James's Cemetery. You know where St. James's Cemetery is, don't you, Lee?
Yeah.
Next to the cathedral, right? So he's buried there. But here's the point, and this is where the 12th man and go, what? Right? Now, Oliver, as it went on, and Hardy, right, Thomas Hardy, as he went on, Hardy said, "He retired from he said, I'm going over to the New World, I'm going to America." So Hardy went over to America, right? So have a guess. What very famous comedy duo? What was the name?
It's on the tip of my tongue now.
Come on, Lee.
Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah. Now Hardy, right? What was his name? Oliver Hardy.
Oliver Hardy. Oh.
Right. Now that was a descendant from
John Oliver.
Hardy, Kismet Hardy. Can I finish? See that, JK? Will you tell him? You're the moderator. You're going to tell him. So
he's older than me.
Right. So Oliver Hardy was named after Captain John Oliver, the Liverpool sea captain.
That's pretty interesting.
That's a brilliant story, That's a brilliant story. So he's a direct descendant, yeah?
Yes.
That's a mad one. Mad one.
And that's what it's all about.
I have a question for you then, Frank. Is John Oliver a descendant too then? The John Oliver that is the comedian? He's a Liverpool fan too. That's why.
Yeah, he is a Liverpool fan. I don't know. I really don't know. Have you ever heard of the actor, Robert Carlyle?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a long lost cousin of his.
Okay.
How about that? And I know I love the image of Brad Pitt, so I don't want to know.
Explain to 12th man about how you related to Bob Carlyle, to Robert Carlyle. Explain to 12th man, just briefly, quickly, how it is.
Well, my dad was a New Zealander, right? And he went to New Zealand. Well, his family went to New Zealand during the 1840s, 50s, or something like that. And anyway, he met my mother, my little Italian mother, after the war. He was a what you call a SBS, special boat. He used to go up and blow German submarines up.
Yeah.
So after the war, he became a merchant seaman because he was demobbed. He was an officer in the Royal New Zealand Navy. So anyway, he had the Liverpool friends because with being here throughout the war, he became friends with some Liverpool sailors. And then when they were demobbed, they all went into the Merchant Navy, and he went along with them. So he was, sailing from Liverpool. After a few years, he met my mum. Just met her. And they got married. And that's why I've got the name Carlyle, you see.
Right.
So anyway, they were filming the 51st State with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Samuel L. That's how he
Great
became.
movie. It's a really good movie too, by the way. Great movie. I think.
Yeah, so he became a Liverpool supporter during that
Yeah,
time.
because of that movie. Yeah.
But so did Angelina Jolie, you know, when she was doing Tomb Raider. And when
Oh,
she was
wow, I didn't
married to Billy Bob Thornton, they became Liverpool supporters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a friend named Ricky Tomlinson, great actor. You know, he was in the 51st State. And I said to him, hey Ricky, I said, is there any chance to introduce me to, he said, yeah, Robert Carlyle. So I went down to him. Now I'm a historian, PhD, right? So I'm this historian. And I know all about Dickens because I did a paper on Dickens and Shakespeare. And one of his mates was a great historian named Thomas Carlyle, who wrote a book called Sign of the Times. And it was the first time that automation was used in any book. And this is in the mid-19th century. There was no terminology ever used except for this fella, Sign of the Times. So anyway, he dedicated it to Charles Dickens. Now, Charles Dickens, he wrote a book, you know, he said, oh, thanks, you know, to Thomas's mate, you know, dedicated to me. So anyway, he wrote Hard Times, and he dedicated it back to Thomas Carlyle. Now, I went down to see him. We were having lunch. He said, yeah, come down. We'll have some lunch. Anyway, I went down. Robert Carlyle was there. And I said to you know, he just got introduced and shook his hand. And I said, just a quick question. I said, I won't sit down and annoy you, and I'll get off and you can have your lunch. No, sit down. And I just said to him, are you any relation to a great mid-19th century historian, great friends with Charles Dickens? And he said, Robert Carlyle, Thomas Carlyle. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I am. I'm a descendant from him. And I said, so am I.
Ain't that a weird one, eh? And he was a historian too.
Yeah,
Isn't life odd?
That's incredible.
It's JK's image name, isn't it? Kismet.
Yeah.
It is. It's just nuts. But anyway, lads, on that score.
Okay, guys.
It's listen to him, look. Listen to Drunk. Time out.
Time him out. Yeah.
Time out. That's a great American saying, isn't it? Time out. I've spent time in Carlisle, bro, but I don't spell my name like that, you see. And in the north, yes, of course. 12th man, thank you so much for staying with us.
No, thank you. As I said again, it's definitely a pleasure and an honor, definitely to, you know, share any stage with the likes of yourselves. And I learned a lot today. I hope I was able to contribute something as well, some insights of my own. But I definitely learned for sure.
We like the style, dude. We like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, you're good. You're very, very good, and you're a passionate Liverpool supporter. And they all think that, as you know, they all think that. As one said, you know, you give your life for Liverpool, which is absolutely fantastic. And as Drunk says, Frank and Lee have humbled the 12th man. How about that? Lee, thank you so much.
Okay, man.
12th man, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
JK, thank you so much. And I'll see you both in the morning at 10:30. Well, okay. And no one's mentioned me haircut. No one's, well, not one of you.
No, just looks nice and tidy, mate.
Looks good, bro.
I'm experimenting with having me fringe back because somebody said I had a large forehead on account of me avatar on YouTube. I've got an avatar on YouTube, and I had my hair swept up, and he said, "You've got a really large forehead," and I was like, "You bastard!" And I started having it down instead. I got all paranoid. He went, "Not if you're not conscious of it." And I went, "Bloody am now. You said it."
Yeah, I am. Right.
Now.
So they call you big head?
No, but he said vase of flowers. He said vase of flowers with the high forehead. I was like, "You swine." Brought me attention to it.
Well, anyway, Red Bears at T9.
Absolutely.
Fantastic show, 100%. That's lovely. And it's only for you fellas. And it's only for the wonderful people out there who are commenting that, you know, we've enjoyed it. We really have. Thank you so much, boys. And I'll see. Don't forget Tuesday, boys, as well. Tuesday, and you, 12th man. The link will always be there for you, sent by JK, if you ever want to come on anytime. Is that okay?
More than.
We'll come looking for you if you don't come on again soon.
Yeah, we'll look for you.
No, I will. I'll certainly. Are you kidding me? This was definitely an incredible show, to tell you the truth. Got to speak, you know, distinguished gentlemen for sure. That's what it was.
Thank you so much. Allora, non ho detto to you, boys. Mille grazie, ci vediamo a domani. Lee, a domani, JK. Meaning, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Bellissimo. Arrivederci.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.